Well, good afternoon. Welcome back to Sapphire Gardens in Cardiff for the second instalment of this double-header. It's a historic double-header here at the home of Welsh cricket, where we have the women's team and the men's team both in action on the same day in the Battle of the Bridge. There you are. Hello. Nice to see you. And so it's been a great day. We've already had one match with the Glamorgan women running out comfortable victors against Gloucestershire in their women's Vitality Blast fixture. And now we await the men and all to play for as well in this competition. I'm joined by Kath Wilkins, former Somerset and England batter. And we're looking forward to a game where, well, Glamorgan really need to win this to try and cement that place in the top four of the Blast competition. Yeah. Currently in fourth place. They probably need a favour for another team. Some of Sussex maybe to lose one, or Hampshire to lose one, to be definitely sure. But they're still in fourth place at the moment, and so important day for them, Kath.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's never a good position when you're relying on other teams, but Glamorgan just have to focus on what they do well and come out today. Great crowd building, a beautiful day here today. In theory, it's 1-0 to Wales already, with a Euros nod to later. Gloucestershire are going to put a spoiler on that. We'll wait and see. But obviously, the last two games for Glamorgan haven't gone their way. But if they take the spirit that they had here against Kent last weekend and bring that to the ground today, then I'm sure that they're in for a really good chance today. But I think Gloucester are going to want to cause a bit of an upset here, and
Yeah, definitely defending champions. A lot of pride at stake, of course. And you mentioned that Glamorgan have been on the road this week, and they had two defeats on the road to Hampshire and Southampton, and then to Surrey on Friday night. And they'll be feeling a little bit bruised, do you think, the Glamorgan players, after they scored 222 and still managed to lose? And so how do you think they'll be coping with that emotionally?
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right in terms of putting on that great total and some good scores from, Smell got 37 off 17 balls. Ingram 69 and Asa Tribe not out on 56. So in terms of performance, they did brilliantly, but just couldn't carry that momentum forward and take it over the line. So I think they're obviously going to be hugely disappointed. But to take the positives from that, some really big scores there from some key players, and doing exactly what he should in a T20, scoring quickly off as little Benny balls as possible. So I think that's the positive they can take into this game today. It's a great wicket. Obviously the women have already played on that today, but it played really well. Very fast outfield here today. So yeah, I'm expecting quite a big score, I think. Yeah,
well, we can give you news from the toss. So Gloucestershire won the toss and they have elected to bat. So it's going to be Gloucester who are going to bat first here in beautiful hot conditions here in Cardiff. And let's have a quick look at the Gloucestershire 11, and there you'll see there's an Aussie presence in this team with Darcy Short and Karen Bancroft in two of the top three. Anyone else that stands out to you there, Kath?
Yeah, I think Darcy Short's the last two innings he scored a 70 and a 64. Also Jack Taylor, he scored quickly 41. So I think that their top six are strong. So if they can make a great start today, then I think they can again put some big runs on the board. But, yeah, for me, it's probably Jack Taylor, Darcy Short and Cameron Bancroft that are sticking out.
Yep, and Marchant Delanger, formerly of this parish, here as well. So, a return to Glamorgan for him, the big fast bowler. And Gloucestershire, again, defending champions, and it hasn't quite happened for them. They probably have an outside chance, you'd say, of making the quarterfinals. But, again, we'll need other results to go their way and to win all three matches, including this one that they have left to play. So it's sometimes difficult, I guess. A lot was maybe expected after they won last year, and it hasn't quite happened for them. Yeah,
it always makes you the team to beat when you're the defending champions, doesn't it? And it hasn't gone their way. The run of games hasn't gone their way as well. But both teams today are actually in the same position. They've lost their last two, so they're both wanting to come out today and put on a good performance and try and get that win, and then just see how the other results, whether they go their way. So yeah.
And here's the Glamorgan team. There's been a couple of changes from the side that played Surrey on Friday night. So Andy Gorvin and Jamie McElroy are out, and they're replaced by Tim van der Hoogten and the leg spinner Mason Crane. So what do you think about those two changes?
Yeah, I think it's good to see Mason back in the attack, actually. I think that's a positive move for Glamorgan today. Again, earlier on the women's game, it did move quite a bit, so there might be some good movement for him today. So it's good to see that back in the squad. But yeah, I think it's a solid team again. I think, look again at that top six. It's a good batting lineup. Dan Douthwaite's he's been doing brilliantly with the ball as well. Took an amazing diving Superman catch as it's been billed on onto the social media. So yeah, strong side and some positive changes.
So a few spin options there. Imad Wasim, he's been opening up for Glamorgan. Interesting to see whether he does that now. Of course, they've got Mason Crane and Ben Kellaway, of course, a very talented spinner as well. Has that ability to bowl with both arms, which is always exciting. He's sort of right arm orthodox, but can sometimes switch it round and bowl left arm over as well. So that's exciting. And Alex Horton, the keeper, has burst his way into the team really after some good performances in the seconds, and so he comes in at number 3, can strike the ball hard as well. So from the game that we've already seen here, do you think that the pitch, it looked like it was spinning a little bit for the women earlier on, so maybe spin might be the way to go?
Yeah, there wasn't too much coming off the seam. There was a bit of, it's obviously very warm here today, but there was a bit of swing early on, but yeah, it seemed to grip the pitch a bit better than it has done in the last few games, so maybe spin might be a good option to take, but yeah, we'll just get out there and see how Glamorgan attack it. But yeah, beautiful day here.
Well, there were a few moments last season when I think Glamorgan had 3 leg spinners bowling all at once, when Mason Crane was bowling, then Colin Ingram bowls a few as well, and of course they had Marnus Labuschagne as well, so that was a bit of a moment to see Glamorgan with 3 leg spinners on the go. They plenty of spin options again, because Colin Ingram could bowl a few if they need him to, but they've got Ben Kellaway, so all-rounder as well, and Mason back, and Imad Wasim as well, who's normally a pretty sort of tight, meagre bowler. I think he went for 10s against Surrey, but I think everyone was getting dispatched by the looks of it at the Oval on Friday night. So there's maybe no one had an easy night of it. So we'll be interested to see how they go. And Tim van der Hoogten as well, who's not featured much in the Blast competition this season, because a great campaigner, a brilliant brilliant athlete, still a strong fast bowler. I'd be surprised if we don't see him fairly early on, probably trying to get the ball to extract any movement that there is early on. He's probably the man to do it. Yeah,
I think that's a really good addition as well to the team today. So, yeah, excited to see how he fares on, like I say, a very dry and good wicket here today. But Gloucester, as you'd expect, taking the positive, winning the toss and deciding to bat. They're probably looking to put a big score on. Boundaries have stayed the same for the game this morning to today, so we know it's racing away to the boundary quite quickly. So yeah, it'd be good to see how they attack the first power play here today.
Yeah, so really, really hot conditions here in Cardiff. I don't know where you're joining us from around the world, but certainly for the Welsh weather, this is definitely at the hotter end of things, as we see the umpires on making their way down to the outfield. The temperatures here well into the 30s, you'd say. Very, very warm. It was really heating up even this morning when the women first took the field at 11 o'clock this morning. It was up in the high 20s, and it will now be well into the 30s. A really warm afternoon, and so quite testing to be out there in the field. But a beautiful day. You'd much rather it was this than mist and drizzle around. So lovely afternoon and a great place to come to enjoy the afternoon sunshine and watch some fantastic cricket. Already had a good Welsh win. First thing with the women, winning by 9 wickets, fairly comfortable in the end it was. And now the local fans will be hoping for something similar. They really want to the Glamorgan team, who are on their way down the steps now, led by the captain Kieran Carlson. Well, they could really do with a win here to put themselves in contention for that quarter-final place. Something they'd love to do. They've kind of looked like a team who are good enough to make the quarterfinals all season, but have just not managed to string many victories together. It tends to be win one, lose one. And obviously they've lost a couple on the road this week as well. So all to play for Glamorgan, but certainly an air of confidence, you'd say, around this team. An influx of young players into the side this year, the likes of Asa Tribe and Ben Kellaway and Alex Horton, all coming in and really making their mark and actually now looking like fixtures who will probably be around for a little while. So exciting times potentially, but they won't want to just miss out, having done a lot of good work this season so far.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I think Glamorgan just got to focus on what they do well and, execute that today, execute their plans, and worry about the results later, but just get the job done here and then fingers crossed the other results go their way.
So that's Miles Hammond, who I think will be taking the first ball today. Interesting to see who Glamorgan decide to go with first. It looks like he's just taken his cap off. I think it's going to be Imad Wasim. The left arm Pakistani spin bowler, of course born in Swansea. He's 37 years of age now. It's a nice story, actually. Born in Swansea and then sort of moved back to Pakistan and had an excellent international career, played over 100 times for Pakistan and now coming back to the land of his birth to represent the Welsh county. It's a nice story. And, well, he's a very wily, experienced campaigner to start things off. And he is going to bowl the first over here against the left-handed Hammond. It looks like he's still going to come round the wicket, even to the left-hander. So we're underway. And straight away, a single to get things going. Asa Tribe is the man down there, one of the two fielders out on the leg side.
Yep. Two left-handers as well, makes things a little easier when you're starting off.
Well, good to hear the crowd in hearty voice early on. I think obviously know where our FX microphone is. A little bit shorter. Tucks it away. So the difference in the women's game really was with Glamorgan's ability to hit the boundary. Probably plenty of power on both sides. It'll probably be less of a factor here, you'd think, with both batting lineups able to clear the boundary if they want to, but nice cover drive, and that's the first boundary. Doesn't even move, Hammond, just watches and admires it.
Yeah, well driven, straight through the gap. See if it's doing anything. It's doing a little off the pitch there, but straight through that gap.
A little bit of width there, just enjoyed that, freed his arms, and that's the first boundary. Straighter, nice piece of fielding. It's Kieran Carlson there.
Short mid-wicket.
Yeah, he's normally in short on either side, in cover or mid-wicket. Likes to be in close. It's as much a catching position as saving runs.
Quicker ball there from Imad, but worked off the hips easily, single taken. But yeah, just try to push that one through a bit quicker.
He's got a nice wristy action, as Imad was saying, when he runs up. There's a little flick that he does, which is sort of very graceful.
Yeah.
On his way in, just flicks his wrist back.
Quick single taken. But Carlson ran quickly, but safely to their ground. Brings the end of the first over, 8 from it.
Yeah, without doing too much there, just to put the one bad ball away. And 4 singles, so nice start for Gloucestershire. And again, the key is not to lose too many wickets in the power play for them. That can really hamper a side's progress if you lose too many early on. And so it is Tim van der Hoogten returning to the side. If there is any movement available, swing or seam, you'd hope that he will be able to get that in the first few overs here. No slip in. Tends to swing it away to the right-hander, so we'll probably swing it in most likely to the left-hander. So, but they do have a kind of a leg slip. Nice looking drive. Good stop again from Carlson in close, this time on the offside. So we've got a third man and a deep square leg of the two fielders who are out in this power play. Of course, only 2 fielders outside the 30-yard circle in the first 6 overs of each innings. You can have 5 out after that. Let's help round the corner for 4.
I'm stopping that one. That was, just a flick off the hip there, wasn't it? And it's raced away to the boundary.
Yeah, kind of used the angle, didn't he? Had that natural angle as he's coming round the wicket and just kind of helped it around the corner. And there wasn't a fielder within 20 yards of that. So Darcy Short's first boundary. He's up and running.
Ooh.
Well, that ball's hit him, I
It
think.
has hit him, yeah. Dug that one
Just
in.
followed him a little bit.
Not sure where that got him. It felt like it might be.
A little chat as they head at the other end.
Yeah. Is that in the chest? Or the shoulder?
Yeah.
Top of the forearm. In between that, but
Didn't
yeah.
quite judge it, and it just tried to find some room, and the ball just kept coming towards him.
Yeah, just singling off the top of the arm.
So steady start so far from Gloucester. Chose to bat first.
And then giving himself some room there, but Van Houten onto it and adjusted accordingly, so it followed him.
So dropping the third man out now. Not third man, deep square, deep sort of deep backward point really, and that means that third man is coming up into the circle. It's Colin Ingram there, short third. Nice looking drive through mid wicket, and that's going to race away. Another boundary to Miles Hammond, and he's into double figures. Just a length ball and swung through it.
It's there is a big gap there as well to be aiming for the left-hander.
Yeah, lots of vacant boundary regions here early on. Tries a similar shot, swings across the line, half-hearted appeal. But I think it was always going down leg, and that's the end of Tim van Houten's over, 8 from it. Gloucestershire 17 without loss after 2 overs, and ticking along nicely. No real dramas, no troubles.
Yeah, I think it's a really positive start from Gloucestershire, to be honest. There's the Glamorgan women on the balcony, just staying on for this game as well, which is great to see. On the back of their victory to make it to finals day.
Good to see they've pushed the men into a different changing room by the looks of things. Well, that's good. Equality, that's what they're working towards here. For both men and women's cricket. So we're going to see spins straight away.
Yep.
It's Ben Callaway. Really talented all-rounder. Really made his mark for Glamorgan this season.
Or reverse sweep.
In the air, should be out. And it is, he strikes with his first ball. Ben Callaway gets Darcy Short, who looks disgusted with himself. Attempted the reverse sweep, top-edged it. And it was a doddle of a catch to short third.
Yeah, I'm not sure that was the right shot from first ball to be playing, and he just top-edged it, short fine leg in there, and yeah, that's a great first ball from Callaway, and a first wicket for Glamorgan as well. So a great start for them. Just looking at the replay, you'll see how he makes the decision to reverse it, top edges it, easy catch, down it, fine.
Yeah, Tim van Houten won't have many easier catches than that. That really was a doddle.
Already celebrating before it scores. Some of them
Sometimes
always
risky
risky,
business.
always risky. Yeah, but safe pair of hands.
But yeah, top professional cricketer, Tim van Houten. He was never going to drop that one. And Glamorgan have their first wicket. So first breakthrough, that brings another Aussie, Cameron Bancroft, out to the middle. So right left hand combination now, a little bit more tricky for the fielding side to negotiate. They have to move fielders around every time the strike is rotated. But Callaway strikes. This talented all-rounder.
So 2 sweepers are out both on the leg side. Everyone else up in the ring. Oh!
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable first
Callaway's on a hat-trick. The most innocuous little push, and it's shot along at about knee height, straight back into Callaway's hands, and he's taken 2 and 2, and he's on a potential hat-trick.
I mean, Bancroft's walk-off will probably be the slowest one you'll see for a long time, but even he's just utterly bamboozled by it. And just like you say, really innocuous, just a prod back, straight back to the bowler and Kellaway. 2 balls, 2 wickets on a hat-trick.
Well, golden arm, Kellaway. What introduction he's been. Oh, yeah, just tried to work it from outside off stump and chipped it straight back. Wow. And a very funny duck walk from Alex Horton as well. I think that must be a little in-joke there. That's his celebration stomp, perhaps. Yeah, got an innocuous. Just tried to work it into the leg side, didn't he? I think, and that's probably because of the field they'd set. They'd left a big wide gap there through mid-wicket. The 2 fielders out on the boundary, and he probably thought this is an easy single and tried to work a ball that was too wide, really, and just got a bit of an edge on it, leading edge, and flicked it back into the air. So, hat-trick ball.
I hope the crowd gets it behind this one.
So,
come on, bit of oohs and ahs, that's what we want coming in.
Will he play a big shot here? You'd think, gosh, it'd be a brave man if he does. It's Charlesworth on the hat-trick ball for Ben Kellaway.
Oh.
And an ooh from the crowd. And a round of applause, appreciating what the young man's done here. Double breakthrough.
And we're back to 2 left-handers again as well.
So, Ben Charlesworth, does he just attack here still? Or is there a sense of just, again, trying to let things calm down again? It's never nice when you lose 2 in 2, and particularly 2 big players like Bancroft and Short.
Driven down to take him off strike.
That's the first run that Kellaway has conceded in 5 balls. Sport his double wicket maiden there. Never mind. A bit faster. Oh, and that's disappointing. Yeah, and he's kicks the turf as the captain.
Yeah, I'm not sure the ground's going to be happy about that, to be honest.
No. So, but a brilliant first over. 2 wickets for Ben Kellaway, and he gets a round of applause as well he might from an appreciative crowd.
Definitely. So still in the power play, 2 wickets down. There's a saying of 3 wickets down in a power play can dictate how the rest of the game goes, isn't there?
Yeah, that's always a big plus for any bowling side to get 3. Well, they only need 1 more, and we've only had 3 overs, so Glamorgan will be delighted the way they've fought back from what was quite a comfortable start. Another turning to pace, spin at one end, pace at the other. It's Ned Leonard, the quickest bowler in this Glamorgan side.
Very much in form as well at the moment.
And we've got a slip in. It's Colin Ingram at slip. And put straight away, bit of width, and don't need to run for those. Yeah, a bit too much width there, really. Just had to put his hands through it.
Yeah, the smallest of foot movements from Hammond there, and just drilled it straight to the boundary. So
there's just only 3 fielders on the leg side. Steps away, it was in the air for a little while. The crowd oohed. They thought that might be going towards one of the fielders. In the end, it was safely through a gap and down to 3rd man. Gripping afternoon's cricket here. As on this double-header day. 2 matches for the price of 1. Can't say fairer than that. And this local crowd looking for 2 Glamorgan wins after the women won this morning in this double-header battle of the bridge.
No ball.
Just overstepping, I think.
Yeah.
There. So that means a free hit.
Free hit.
And you would think that Charlesworth is going to be eyeing up probably that big vacant huge air on the leg side. Anything up, you think he's going to have a go at. Mid on and mid off, both in the circle as well. So lots of boundary opportunities there. So where does Ned Leonard bowl this.
Oh, straight back over his head. Didn't get hold of it all, but it might. No, it's been cut off, which is good. So just 2 runs.
Just the 2, yeah.
Sort of came off more of the top of the bat, I think, because he dug it in quite well there, Leonard.
Yeah, ended up being more of a tennis shot, that one, than a cricket shot. Just hit it back over his head with a flat bat. Maybe got into him a little bit quicker than he thought. He probably got a bit tucked up and couldn't quite free his hands out front and hit it more into the leg side. But still, good start to this over from Gloucester. It's a short one. Oh, that had a bit of pace on it. Well directed as well.
Quite close to the bat, that as well, I think, indicating from.
Yeah, that flew through to Alex Horton. He took that head high, and he's almost standing on the 30-yard circle.
Yeah, that's right at him. But yeah, great take. Yeah, he's pretty much on the markers. So it's definitely coming through quick. But yeah, good to see a shorter ball. Get the batsman thinking about what he might bowl now. Again, dug in, but he's whipped that away. But there is someone down at deep third, and they're gone for 2.
Well run.
Comfortably so.
So, because of the no ball, still got one more to go this over. There's 10 from it so far. I've seen a bit of everything so far from Leonard. Really good bouncer. And a no ball as well. And a boundary. Bit of width there again, but it's just going to be 1. Tim van der Hoogten down there at third man. And that's the end of the over. 11 from it. At the end of the 4th, now Gloucestershire 31 for 2. Just trying to rebuild from that double whammy of losing both Darcy Short and Cameron Bancroft in successive balls.
We've got 2 camps that were being shown here today. Those seeking shade on a very warm day, and those basking in the sun with their bucket hats.
Which one would you be in?
I'd probably have a mix of the 2, to be honest, but I'd probably seek more shade than sun these days.
This is so hot. I think so. I would. I think I don't mind a bit of sun, but I think I'd be cooked after about 3/4 of an hour in this. It would be.
Yeah, a bit too much today.
So it's Ben Kellaway to continue. Cope was batting high up as well in this. Bats at 4 in this batting lineup as well. Really useful spin bowler. Has the ability to bowl it with both arms as well. Right arm is his main one, if you like. Comes down the wicket and finds the vacant space. 1 bounce, 4. It's good batting from Charlesworth. Used his feet.
Yeah. Yeah, trying to take advantage whilst they can with just those 2 fielders out. So good foot movement straight over that ring. Comfortably so, and 1 bounce and 4. So no fielding adjustments, staying as is. Kellaway digs it in. They're looking for 2. Thought about it, but
Ace of Tribe doing the fielding.
yeah, wise decision.
This younger breed of athletic young cricketers in their early 20s. Ace of Tribe is one of the ones like Ben Kellaway, who's come through the Cardiff UCCE and Cardiff Met. Drives again in the air. It's a repeat story. That's another boundary. And I think Hammond this time. Looking for the same spot. Putting a bit of pressure back onto Ben Kellaway now. Yeah, Kellaway and Tribe, both members of the Cardiff Met side. They obviously haven't played all the season because of their Glamorgan commitments, but Cardiff Met did win the Bucks Universities tournament this year. So another little sort of feather in the cap for Welsh cricket. They're coming down again, but this one's only going to be 1. bit flatter, and the line a bit more leg stump this time. And it's a dot ball, 10 off the over, and Gloucestershire now 41 for 2. So I'd say it feels sort of honours even. Maybe Glamorgan perhaps will be the most happy, I'd say, getting those two top batters out so early on. A few Gloucestershire fans in, got their flags out. Not the only thing they've got out.
Yeah, basking in the sun today. So again, just to change back, Van der Houten coming back into the attack. It's going to change his angle up as well to the left-hander.
Yeah, coming round again, I think.
Yeah.
So we've got fine leg and third man, saving one here. Maybe the ramp or the scoop is on. In the end, flicks it off straight into the leg side. Ace of Tribe runs round and fields. Keeps it to 1.
And I think, say we're in the last over of the power play, so they want to try and capitalise on this over as best they can before then Glamorgan can push out a few more sweepers.
So as Ben Calloway is on the cover point boundary. Ace of Tribe the other side. Everyone else saving 1 on the ring.
Again.
Drives, Van der Houten gets a hand on it, stops what could have been a boundary.
Always hard for the quicker bowlers coming in. You've gone through your action and the ball's coming straight back at you within the blink of an eye, so really good to get down there and stop that.
Well, as the strains of a trombone drift across the ground.
Gone for it,
yeah, comfortably there in the end, actually. Yeah, he's right on the edge of the circle there. It's Mason Crane there, mid-off. Yeah, I think it's definitely a Welsh trombone playing in the Glamorgan song, trying to get the crowd going. I'm going to say, my knowledge of brass instruments, by sound alone, I'm saying that's a trombone. Do you have a view? Euphonium, possibly?
I'm not so sure. It definitely doesn't sound like a trumpet. It's too deep. Oh!
Top edge, and gets away with it. Flies away over third man for 4. Bit of luck for Hammond.
Yeah, I thought third man was in there, but raced the angle we have. Just thought, it's straight into his hands, but nowhere near it. Almost 6.
Yeah, well, he tried to plonk that over mid wicket, and it went almost 180 degrees in the opposite direction in the end, but still got the desired result of a boundary. And Hammond moves on to 26, going quite nicely now. Bit of width. Just going to be 1. Dan Douthwaite there, diving on the square. That's never a pleasant thing to do, particularly in these dry conditions when the pitches will be as hard as concrete.
You see a lot of the players now either wearing the long shirts or the GB grips on the arms just to protect the elbows when you're diving on a really dry.
Nasty, scabby grazes take a while to heal up, don't they? Can be painful. So Douthwaite has taken a couple of screaming catches in this competition. He's in there at cover. Ball goes to him now. All action cricketer. I'm sure it won't be too long before we see him with the ball in his hand as well. And that's the end of the power play. So, yeah, Gloucestershire 48 for 2. What would your assessment of the power play be, Kath?
I think, given they lost 2 wickets very early, they're going well now. This, it's a good 6 overs from Gloucestershire. Hammond's established 27 off 15, so going really well, and being backed up by Charlesworth. So those 2 very quick wickets in consecutive balls, kind of they've put that behind them, and they're just working the ball nicely around the ground now.
So rotating the spinners from the Cathedral Road end, Imad Wasim returns, bowled the first over, and he comes back again. Bowled his left arm round the wicket.
ball.
Oh, and again another little leading edge. That was almost a carbon copy.
Almost a run out. Sorry, I should wait for the BBC with my sound effect, shouldn't I?
Well, he was half asleep there. It just seemed like he was just trotting down to the non-striker's end. And, well, Kieran Carlson was alive to something that the batsman wasn't. Ooh.
Yeah, look at that. You can see the immediate
would
panic.
have been close.
Yeah, you'd be very annoyed if you got out to that.
Yeah, Hammond just scraping in there. A direct hit would have made it very interesting. A bit of work for Callaway to do. He's going to keep it to 1.
So a really big gap on that leg side for the left hand now to be able to work the ball into. So we've got 3 out sweeping there. So it's a run every time. It's whether they can quickly get 3 for 2.
Swings hard, and he's got all of that.
Yeah.
That's a maximum. It's the first one we've seen. And Hammond does clear the rope easily there. Yeah, nice strike. Straight away, picked up the length. And a lovely clean hit down on back knee down on the floor. Stylish as well, as left-handers so often are.
Looked effortless as well in the end, didn't it? Just
did.
Move that front leg out of the way.
Well, he's raced on to 34 now, Miles Hammond. Goes the other side this time. Doesn't connect, but the ball is running away. Chases on. Well, good bit of work. Who's that chasing down there? Well, that was an excellent chase. It was Van der Hofsten who chucked it back in, but so runs starting to come a little bit more easily now for Gloucestershire.
Build that one a bit quicker, dug it in a bit more, but again a single taken easily on that side.
So definitely the sort of the ramp or the reverse sweep shot is potentially on with the fielding position. They are short third man and a point, so they're all up. There's no one on the boundary in that area. So I wonder if he'll have another go. Cuts this one. Oh, and again, Kieran Carlson's let another one run through his hands. Well, by his standards, he'll be a little bit disappointed with that.
Yeah, blaming the square.
Yeah, I think it's just
often
probably,
hard.
It's probably hit something on the square, hasn't it? Maybe a rough patch at the end and leapt a bit more or shot through a bit more than he was expecting. But no harm done. They were probably going to take a single anyway, and they did. So Gloucestershire now 60 for 2 from 7. Starting to rebuild nicely after losing those 2 wickets, Short and Bancroft in quick succession to Ben Callaway. And the score was on 17. So partnership worth more than 40 now as Glamorgan throw the ball to Dan Douthwaite. Big hit the pitch bowler. Seemed to sort of jog in, and then all his speed and strength comes from his shoulders and his back.
Yeah, very, very broad strength, like you say, coming from the shoulders. He digs it in, and he's having a good season the last few games.
So no fielder saving one on the leg side at all here. So the challenge will be, can they turn any ones into twos, these two? Glamorgan are gambling that they won't be able to do that. Or if they do try, they can run them out. So we've got mid-off, extra cover, a backward point, and a third man, all saving one, and then a sweeper out on the offside. Oh, that sounds really good off the bat.
He's in. I think
very high.
Oh,
and it's out and very well taken. Asa Tribe looks up. I think the sun was in his eyes there. But he takes it really, really well. That's a great wicket for Glamorgan. It's Miles Hammond, the danger man, who was going so nicely. He's caught by Asa Tribe off the bowling of Dan Douthwaite for 37. And Gloucestershire now 61 for 3.
Yeah, that's a fantastic take. It was in the air for a really long time, looking directly at the sun. Asa Tribe wears glasses to be able to see, so he's not wearing sunglasses as well. So yeah, he just balanced himself, didn't have to move much, but just had to make sure he got well under it and look at blocking the sun a bit there, and then steadies himself. Brilliantly taken, right on the boundary.
Yeah, a little adjustment he had to make at the end. That was a really tough one. It sounded so good off the bat. It's one of those you half expect to see sailing over the trees.
Yeah.
And then suddenly just got too much height on it, didn't it? I think you called it, Kath. It was just a bit higher than he wanted. Didn't have enough length on it. In the end, Asa Tribe had to only take 1 or 2 steps forward from his position on the long on boundary. And in the end, took a good catch in the sun.
Yeah, and that's a great wicket to take as well. Yeah, Hammond was going very well, so they'll be delighted to see him back in the dugout.
Yeah, another good bowling change from Kieran Carlson. Dan Douthwaite making an immediate impact with his second ball.
I feel like they've made a change potentially in the batting order here. Could have been Price coming in, but we've got
Jack Taylor.
Jack Taylor, yeah, who's again scored well in the last few games, got 41.
Yeah, it's the skipper for Gloucestershire. Just evades the diving Carlson again. Yeah, he has got the long sleeves on, no wonder. All the diving he's doing is right on the square, both sides. It's important that the fielders know where they're going with this right-left hand combination. Again, a little bit of confusion at the moment, where Dan Douthwaite's got his arms out, just trying to make sure that everyone knows where they should be. Yeah.
Give everyone a go. Everyone move round one.
Remember that, All-Stars cricket.
Yeah.
Always nice looking drive on the up. That's just going to be one.
Well fielded. It's never easy when you're in those straight-on positions.
No.
When it's coming at you, so when you're on your mid-off and the mid-ons, it comes to you a lot quicker than you're expecting it, and you have to that lateral movement.
Well, it'll be sapping being out there in the field today. Really hot work for everyone. Bouncer, and it's given a wide, yeah, just a little bit too down the leg side. It was easily evaded by Jack Taylor, just kind of stepped inside it and let it go over his left shoulder.
Yeah, for Glamorgan, you want to be looking to try and, I mean, you want to be trying to get everybody out, but the left-right combo does then add extra energy into the fielding side having to change, so they want to get rid of Charlesworth as quickly as possible to just have 2 right-handers in.
Inside edge there.
Yeah.
Bit of luck, just cascades into the pads and rolls back out again.
You want to not be exerting too much energy today and conserving it as best you can.
So they're bringing third man up into the circle and pushing long on back. So Asa Tribe's gone back there again. Seems to be his position when it comes to fielding. Waits for that one, maybe a little bit slower, and can only chop it out to backward point. And so it's a good O from Dan Douthwaite, just 4 runs from it and the wicket. And Gloucestershire 64 for 3 now, going in exactly 8 and over. So, reasonable crowd in here today, big sporting day for the England-Wales sporting rivalry. The women's football team's meeting tonight, of course. And this double header here today at Sophia Gardens. It was the Glamorgan women who came out on top this morning, winning quite comfortably in the end by 9 wickets. Easily chasing down 115 to win.
Mason Crane into the attack.
Some leg spin.
Yep, from the pavilion end. Good to see him back in.
And googly straight away there. Didn't quite land it in the right place though. It was a little bit short.
He's trying to get the crowd going, the old
He's
trombone player.
going through his arpeggios at the moment. Bit of flight there. It was slightly upish, but I think he's got all of that, and that's away for 4. It was just 3 metres or so to the left of Kieran Carlson in the air, but he managed to find the gap nicely and races away for a boundary. Nice shot from Jack Taylor. So, looking to form a partnership here, Gloucester. Charlesworth faced 20 balls or so, so he's should have his eye in now. Got used to the pace of the pitch and the conditions, and we'll hope that his captain can stick around with him for a little while to really allow them to push hard in the second half of their innings. That's driven 1 bounce and 4, despite a valiant effort by Asa Tribe, who threw himself. Couldn't quite get a hand on it, and it's another boundary, nicely struck. Oof.
Great effort.
Well, you can't fault the commitment.
Yeah, Mason Crane not quite finding his rhythm and line yet. That's a much better ball. Again, worked away for 1, so we're already 11 off this over already, with still 1 ball to come.
So he's a wicket-taking bowler, is Mason Crane. He does induce batters to play false strokes or to try and take things on, and finishes with a dot. So 11 from that over from Mason Crane. Gloucestershire 95 for 3 at the end of the 9th over. On a glorious afternoon here. Don't forget there's another double header here at Sapphire Gardens on Friday night. You could be like these guys here in the crowd to watch another fantastic double header of cricket. We have the women's game followed by the men's game on Friday the 18th of July. That's this Friday. You can get your tickets from globalcricket.com. Brilliant prices as well, so bring the whole family. There are group discounts available as well. What a great way to end the school term. It might be breaking up, I think, a lot of the schools this Friday, so what a lovely way to start the summer holidays. Come down here and get some lovely food and enjoy a great day's cricket. All starts, I think, at 2:30, 3 o'clock on Friday afternoon. But we've got some business to settle here first, as Ned Leonard returns from the River Taff end.
Charlesworth, 22 off 23 balls, so established, the left-hander as well. And we're going to be looking to get this wicket, be a key one to get, so that he doesn't push on. Oh, a swing and a miss. So Leonard starting with 2 dot balls.
Yeah, you don't need many dot balls, just to create a little sense of pressure and make the batsman think he's got to try something, rather than just playing the ball on its merits, as that's what batsmen like to do if they can. But I suppose these days quite a lot of these T20 shots, there has to be a degree of premeditation about them,
yes,
to pull them off. But 2 dot balls from Leonard to start this over. That's in the air now. This could be another one, I think.
It is.
Oh! He's dropped it.
Oh my days.
Oh dear, I think that's Will Smale down there. Well,
he did everything right, got in the right position, steadied himself, and that just bobbled out of the hands right at the last minute.
He was in a perfect position, but he didn't even have to move, really. He was probably slightly conscious of the boundary behind him and just slipped through the hands. Oh, he's disappointed.
Very disappointed.
That should have been taken. Yeah. Not easy. He has got his sunglasses on, so I don't know whether that was a help or a hindrance. But a let-off for Charlesworth, a real let-off.
I'm not sure how costly that might prove.
Well, the Glamorgan crowd trying to get behind their side here. Every dot ball is being applauded. And Charlesworth, well, can he take advantage? He's been given a life there. I wonder whether it was just Smell was slightly conscious that he was close to the boundary. Just one of those things, you're just slightly worried what's behind you. And he just the last minute took his eye off it. Cuts, but straight to Van der Huften. So it's been a tidy over, and it could have been even better. Good stuff from Leonard. Well, he burst into the side this year. He's established himself now in this white ball team.
Yeah, just bringing Mid back up into the ring. So 2 out on the leg side. Dug in short. Didn't get hold of that at all. They're looking for 2 though. Not going to take the risk.
I think Taylor was a bit slow off the mark, wasn't he? Probably Charlesworth is ready to come back. But so at the halfway point then, Gloucestershire 77 for 3. Run rate just has dropped under 8 now. And they'll be feeling a little bit lucky that Charlesworth, who's well set now, a real let-off when he was just dropped in the previous over by Will Smell. The ball was in the air for a long, long time. And I think the sun is right in their eyes up there. So on that level, that probably made it a harder catch. But still, you hope to take those, I guess, at this level. None of them are easy, but I guess they do practice those a lot.
Yeah.
Coaches will be hitting lots of balls up in the air all the time as Imad returns from Cathedral Road End. So they're sort of spreading his overs out. Some of the matches he's bowled straight through at the top or bowled 2 or 3. They're spreading his overs out here. This is his 3rd one now. Maybe just to keep things relatively quiet.
Bowling a little bit flatter, so a lot harder for the batters to get that leverage up and over. So looking to keep this pair at bay a bit in this over. Again, just worked it down the ground.
Saw him coming, I think maybe they just dropped it a little bit short, didn't he? Got the sense that he may have just seen him taking a shuffle towards him and decided just to drop it in a little bit shorter. So he couldn't get to the pitch and could only push it for a single. So tidy so far, this over. Taylor flicks into the leg side. I think it's only going to be 1 again. So just trying not to give them the loose ball here. Create a little bit of pressure. Force them to have to take a risk. To play a shot they don't really want to play.
Straight down.
He's dealing in singles this over so far. It's been really tidy from Imad. Wily bowler. Can really vary his pace without any noticeable difference. Can really sort of ping it down there when he wants to. Or give it a bit of loop as well. It's a bit flatter.
Yeah.
And a dot ball to finish. So just 4 singles from it. Tidy stuff from Imad. Builds a little bit of pressure in these middle overs.
Try and keep cool this afternoon in the very warm weather here at Sophia Gardens.
There's the worm.
There's the worm. Yeah, so those 2 wickets early on. Kellaway, consecutive balls. And
cool down support, it is available.
We've not had many big overs really. It's been fairly steady, going roughly at sort of 7s and 8s. So Mason Crane is being switched now down to the River Taff end. See how he fares down there. Guess probably slightly longer boundary to deal with. Yeah, and he just signals to Issa Tribe down there on the long on boundary, go a little bit straighter. Swung that into the leg side. I think he's got too much of that. It's clearing Dan Douthwaite's head. And it's into the 2nd row of the stand. So, great start to the over from Charlesworth. He's had a let-off, and now he's trying to capitalise.
think there might have been a drop in the second row as well. I think spectator positioned himself where, look, there he goes. Oh no, straight through the hands.
Did he attempt? Did he try to catch
it?
He did. Never mind. Goes again. Now this one's high again. I think this is Ace of Tribe under this one. Oh, and that's gone down too.
Same spot.
Well, it's obviously, I guess it's difficult down there. He did have a bit more work to do, had to cover a bit more ground to get to it, but still that's 2 that have gone down in that area now. And Gloucestershire are riding their luck, but they're getting away with it.
Significantly quicker ball from Mason Crane, who's clearly frustrated, shaking his head there. Should have been a wicket for him, but it's definitely tricky down in that spot in the direct sun, like you say.
I think that must
Asa had to move quite a way to get round to that, but just couldn't hold on to it.
Swung to the leg side. 1 bounce 4. This is a good over for Charlesworth. And Mason Crane rubs his hand frustratedly in the dust as he sees the ball disappear again over the boundary rope. Looks pretty annoyed. Don't know whether he felt that he could have, the fielders could have done a bit better there. Well, it was well struck.
Yeah, and it was down leg. Ooh, gone for a reverse, and that's racing away as well.
Well,
not going to catch that.
This isn't going to help Mason Crane's mood. This has been probably the most expensive over so far.
16 from it. Oh, it's a theory of drop, I think. Keeper did get his glove to it.
Would have been a ridiculously good catch, wouldn't it? Gosh, that's so hard. Reverse sweep. Kind of top edged it over the keeper's gloves. So, an expensive over, that one. That was not what Glamorgan wanted, and particularly with another drop down there in that very difficult corner. I mean, it's very easy just to say you should have taken it up here, isn't it, Kath? We're sitting in a lovely air-conditioned commentary box, and down there they've got the sun in their eyes in the baking heat. The big stadium watching them as well. Not easy, but 2 have gone down. And, well, how costly will that be? We wait to see. We won't really know for a while yet. So it's Dan Douthwaite. Switches ends to the Cathedral Road end now. Charles gives himself a little bit of room, tries to create an angle.
Yeah, like you say, it'd be interesting to see how Charlesworth pushes on, being dropped earlier. How costly that would be for Glamorgan.
When you got dropped, how did that affect your mentality, your mindset?
Oh, the next ball was always quicker, always. And then I normally got hit for 4, I expect, but always pulled that nicely. There is a fielder there sweeping.
Oh, well done. It's well picked up.
Collects.
I think that's Ben Calloway down there, I think.
Good pick-up.
Yeah, I suppose as a batter, if you're given a life, so one way of looking at it is, it's my day. It's going to be my day, and you can sort of use it as a positive like that.
Yeah.
Rather than sort of get too stressed about how you were nearly out. Just think, it's going to be my day. Maybe that's one way you can look at it. Will it be Charlesworth's day? Well, he moves into the 40s, going along nicely. Just a few clicks above a runner ball.
So 100 up for Gloucester, 101 for 3 in the 13th over, going at a steady run rate of 8, hovering between the 8 and the 9s, so doing well. Fielding change here, bringing up fine leg into the ring.
Swung into the leg side, that's nicely played.
Yeah.
Glanced in the air but behind square, and that races away for another boundary. It's to Taylor. So a bit of momentum here. for Gloucester. It was a nice shot, picked that up off middle and leg really and just helped it round the corner.
Just a flick of the wrists.
It was, timed it really well.
Yeah. Lovely
Made
shot.
it look easy. It's Kieran Carlson now out there on the boundary. Don't often see the captain doing the boundary riding job. But maybe needs with that right-left combination. He can't always be where he wants to be close in. And it would take too long for someone to run boundary to boundary, so he's doing a bit of it. You normally want the captain more in the middle of things.
Yeah.
Snowball bouncer, and he's top edged that over the keeper for 4. Well, you don't often put fielders there. And ends the over with a boundary. It's been a good over for Gloucestershire. And a bit of confidence here now. These two going along quite nicely.
He watched that really well. It was a deliberate shot. There was no risk in that. He stepped away, saw he dug it in short and just helped it along its way over the wicketkeeper's head. So Charlesworth on 44 off 36 balls, Taylor 15 off 16. 7 overs remaining with Gloucestershire on 110 for 3.
Well, don't forget to get your tickets for next Friday. Another double header here, with the Glamorgan women playing in the afternoon this Friday, the 18th of July, followed by the men, their final group game in the Vitality Blast. Good value ticket options available. Bring all the family. Lots of lovely street food. Kath and I were out there perusing the street food at lunchtime. What did you have in the end, Kath?
I went for a lovely belly pork with rice and coleslaw. It was very
Sounds
nice.
good.
Yeah,
I was with the noodles. Nice. Very nice they were too, and lots more besides as well. So, yeah, have a think. Come on down if you're not too far away. Friday from 3 o'clock. But for now, Tim van der Huften to continue from the River Taff end, and that's swung away. They think about a second, but decide not to. Probably good option as the ball fizzed back over the stumps. So Gloucester just up at 8.5 and over now. So you think they want to be eyeing 170, 180 from here. They've got themselves a platform. Still batters to come.
Again, as earlier, if they're superstitious amongst you, are on 111, but short-lived and no peril for Gloucestershire. So they take a quick single. As the weary trumpeter tries to get everyone singing, go glammy glammy.
What instrument he is. Maybe the cameramen could help us on this one. I think it's a trombone, but sounds like a trombone to me. As you say, too low for a trumpet.
Yeah.
So Taylor, the Gloucestershire captain, on 16, and that one's a little bit too wide. He could see that, decided not to flail his bat at it for fear of getting a little edge through to the keeper. Good decision. Gets a run for his team and an extra ball. Yeah, Van der Huften returning to the side today in place of Jamie McElroy.
Thought about 2, but no, bit of a flat bat out to deep mid on. Sweeping the boundary well. They do need to, Glamorgan probably do need to want to break this partnership. I don't think they'll mind which. You want to try and get Charlesworth for, he's well on his way to his 50 at the moment, 45.
And this partnership as well, worth more than 50 as well.
Yeah.
It's worth 53 now. So doing a good job for their team. It's felt reasonably comfortable. Glamorgan have had, both of these batsmen have been dropped as well, down there on the long on boundary. So Got to keep their heads up and try and bounce back. So just a little pause here at the moment. Not sure what this is about.
Bat change.
Bat change.
Split it, or it doesn't feel like maybe the handle's gone, maybe.
Maybe gone for his heavier bat.
Yeah.
Decided to give it a whack. Let's see.
Try and get it into the taff.
Most of the modern bats, they're pretty thick these days, aren't they? I guess compared to the bats that you probably played most of your career with, I know there is a measurement they have. They can't be too thick, but still, the quality of them these days.
Incredible, isn't it?
Top edge,
Oh.
and that's
He's
gone
got away
straight
with it.
over Imad Wasim for 4. Well, he wasn't aiming there, but they all count. Another welcome boundary. Yeah, kind of did that in slow motion, really. That one.
It's almost like a tired shot, wasn't it?
It was.
But it says 4 in the book.
Yeah, they'll be feeling it. Everyone out there in the middle at the moment. Warm day here in South Wales.
Oh, he's got away with that one. That was going to be probably given a wide.
I think that's hit him in the midriff
It
as
hit
well.
him, yeah.
Actual body blow. So 119 for 3. Now Gloucestershire just 6 overs to go. Their innings now. They've put themselves in a nice position to really attack now. May have just taken the wind out of Jack Taylor's sails a little bit, that one. Gives his tummy a rub. He looks all right. That's sort of bruises that you do take as a batter.
Yep. So Mason Crane back in.
Yeah, he's been quite expensive so far by his standards. Gone for 24 from his first 2 overs.
Returning to bowl at Cathedral Road and Mason Crane.
We'll hope to induce them into a false stroke. Maybe offer a catch-up somewhere. To one of these boundary fielders, possibly. Could be now. He's got too much on it. Ben Kellaway crouched as if he was about to leap in the air. He thought he was in the game for a while, but in the end it cleared him by a good 5 metres. And that's 50 for Ben Charlesworth. Well batted.
Yeah, like I say, costly that drop as Charlesworth makes 52 of his 39 balls.
4 4s and 2 6s in that innings. The ball sneaks under Colin Ingram. But it's only going to be 2.
I think we're going to see a real gear change here now from Gloucester. I think Charlesworth's going to be opening up those shoulders, and you know they're only 3 down.
Yeah, Banning to come.
Yeah,
Lee Price.
Yeah, 5
Graham
overs.
Van Buren.
Give them
March
a
and
go.
DeLanger. A few batters to come. Oh,
Went for it, but
I think that was the googly. Went away from the left-hander. Alex Horton did ask the question of the square leg umpire, but I don't think he lifted his back foot up at all. So always hope as a keeper he might have just lifted his toe up, but he didn't. Drives. Oh,
we got a touch on that.
got a touch on that.
Yeah,
Have they appealed? I think they.
safely.
No
in his
one
ground.
thought he was.
Yeah.
Was in his ground. So nice piece of skill. If Mason Crane did that on purpose, just to deflect it back onto the stumps, probably more by luck than judgment. You'd think it all happened so quickly. But Jack Taylor thankfully hadn't gone too far out of his crease. Swings across the line this time. Thick bottom edge. Just a single. So that 6 from the first ball kind of took the pressure off this over a little bit, really. It's always good if you can get a boundary first ball. It really helps. Puts the pressure back on the bowler. Ball to start for Mason Crane. Just rubs his hand in the dirt. Try and get a bit more to dry his hand off and get a bit more purchase on the ball as he gives it a rip. It's hit straight. Oh, brilliant from Mason Crane. I think he stopped that. He's dived from infield, I think. Was certainly over the rope, but in the air, and kind of knocked it back, goalkeeper style, into the field of play. So we're going to have a look at this.
Yeah.
I think they've accepted that he has stopped the boundary because there's no official replay. Let's see.
So he's in the air.
Well, that's a good question because he definitely took off from outside the boundary. I don't know whether that is. I mean, the ball.
I think because he was in the air.
Probably that's
it's
okay, isn't it?
Yeah.
Good piece of work from Acer Tribe. Fair
Great
play.
fielding.
And who knows? Games could be decided by 1 or 2 runs. You know, it all counts. So good to see that level of athleticism in the field for Glamorgan. So it's Ned Leonard now returning from the River Taff end. No wicket yet for him in his first 2 overs. Pulled in the air. Another chance. And this time it's taken. It's Dan Douthwaite. They finally caught one. He throws that in angrily along the floor back to the umpire. And Charlesworth, having just got his 50, has holed out and is caught in the deep from the bowling of Ned Leonard. Well, he didn't do too much more damage after being dropped. But still, Glamorgan will be glad to see the back of him. It's been an excellent innings. 55 from 43 balls, including 4 fours and 2 sixes. And he's certainly given his side a chance, a platform to really attack these final 5 overs or so. And see if he can get Gloucestershire up to a total of 180 or so, you'd think.
Yeah, I think Douthwaite liked that one and said a few words afterwards, I think, in delight. But yeah, well batted by Charlesworth. Brings in
It's Ollie Price.
Ollie Price, so
Yeah, I do love a good Dan Douthwaite celebration. He's been done some good ones. We've done quite a few. He's got the double sort of bicep curl fist pump, which I have enjoyed very much. That's been the one. He always does look pleased when he does something good, and I like that.
Yeah,
he's enjoying
definitely.
himself, and
Yeah.
why not? Go, you do something good. Fair play. You've got to
Celebrate it,
celebrate. Exactly.
definitely.
So Ned Leonard has his wicket. It was only in the season took 5 back at Somerset, where he played, where he started his career, which must have been a moment.
And was it 4 at Kent as well in the same week?
He was on a real roll. Took 4 here. That's right. So 9 wickets in a weekend. That's good business for anyone. Got a bit of zip about him. And again, nice lines. This is good, tidy stuff.
It's good bowling
from Leonard. Putting a bit of pressure on the new batter. Trying to make Ollie Price play a shot that he doesn't want to play. A wicket and 2 dot balls.
Again, it just slows that momentum when you take, you take the wicket, momentum back with Glamorgan now. So wicket and 2 dot balls already in this over. As Leonard comes in, that's pulled off the hips. It's going to be fielded though on the sweepers just in front of square, and they take 2 runs. Almost split the pack, but moving around well.
Yeah, didn't quite hit it hard enough just to bisect the fielders and get it over the boundary. Yet they kind of converged at the same time, but thankfully got themselves organised. And that's always the danger when 2 of you are running towards the same ball, that you both leave it to each other. But they managed to get organised that time, which is good. So Ollie Price off the mark with a couple. Comes down the wicket to this one. Doesn't really hit it very hard. It's only going to be a single. Good over from Leonard so far. At this stage of things, you're really pleased with this. Just 3 runs from the first 5 balls of his over. And that precious wicket as well. So we want to finish well. Jack Taylor will want to spoil the over from a Glamorgan perspective. Swings into the leg side, didn't really time it. And it's only going to be a single. So really good over from Ned Leonard, just 4 runs from it, and the wicket gets a round of applause from the Glamorgan faithful, as well he might. As Gloucestershire now move on to 134 for 4, with 4 overs to go. And so now we can maybe start doing our sums here again. So at the current rate, they're going to be, what, another 32, moving towards something 170, something like that. So we can just up it a little bit, maybe look towards 180.
So, yeah, I was going to say, Wasim's got 1 left, Van der Hooten has, Kellaway 2.
Yep, so they've used 6 bowlers so far, so interesting to see how they
split it
round. Yeah,
whether they keep Crane on or keep Dowthwaite on. Wait and see. That's
well hit.
Yeah.
That's well hit. Nice, clean, easy strike.
Yeah.
Straight into the stand. And Jack Taylor. Oh, he's the one maybe now who's got to take things on. That was a very languid strike again, but came right out the middle.
Yeah,
lovely,
effortless.
Lovely, relaxed swing. A bit wide of the off stump this time. Just going to be 1. It's probably quite a good option. I think anything straight, he's definitely going to try and swing into the leg side, isn't he? I think here, anything pitched up and straight. That's the area.
Yeah.
And I think he's shown he can do it. He's probably going to try and clear those deep fielders and hit it into the stand. A little bit wider than off stump, so a little bit more difficult.
Oh, that's
Big
a
appeal.
good shout.
He stepped right across there.
Did step right across.
And they're going to come back for a couple of probably leg buys and to see what the umpire signalled it.
Oh no.
Must have been a little edge onto the bat, I think.
He came right across his stumps there.
He did. Only got sufficiently far across. Must be taking his guard onto the leg stump. Sweeps. Yeah, just a poor connection this time. Will only be a single.
Almost fell over in his shot there.
He's quite a tall man.
He is.
He plays a long way down for those sweep shots. To get your head right over your front pad. So wide of the off stump, driven in the air.
Yeah.
That's a nice shot, well placed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasim's being hit a bit here today.
Yeah, has not had the control that he would have hoped. Yeah, that was very wide, that one.
Just
Again,
sat up.
It was pretty much a half volley. And he picked his spot very nicely between the 2 fielders. Yeah, he does have a very kind of languid flow of the bat, but when he hits it, it really goes. Times it nicely. So that's the end of that spell from Wasim. As you say, Kath, yeah, by his standards, a little bit expensive. Give you those figures in a moment.
Glamorgan County Cricket Club is proud to join.
But it's 149 for 4 now, Gloucester. 3 overs to go.
Today's doubleheader fixture. The campaign aims to improve access and inclusion.
So Charles with the pick of the batters so far, 55. But Taylor now, the Gloucestershire captain, going very nicely, 36 from 26. So Wasim, 4 overs, no maidens, none for 39. As Ned Leonard continues from the River Taff end. This is pulled, didn't get all of it. Just for a moment, I think the fielder down there was Mason Crane,
yeah.
thinking, shall I dive forward? It's one of those tricky ones where you're in danger of letting the ball go through if you dive for the catch and you don't make it. In the end, decided that he would put the brakes on and just keep it to a single. So it's Price on strike now. As Leonard into his 4th and final over now.
Drilled. He's going to go for it. Oh, yeah.
Again, would have been close. It was Asa Tribe there, fielding at mid-on. Went nicely into his hands, 1 bounce. collected cleanly and fired it at the bowler's end, which was nearest to him. Price might just have got in there, but it would have been close. Ooh, that looks like it may have just brushed the stumps there, or not. Well, I said brushed it, but hasn't missed by much. Very close to hitting something. Let's have a look back. Oh, that's gone over the stumps. Yep, just gone over the top of middle stump. Probably Taylor pulled it on length, so I guess we shouldn't be too surprised with the shot that he played that it was short enough to go over the top.
Dug in, but pulled away again, just almost splitting those two fielders, but great ground fielding.
Really
They've gone for two. It's come in quickly, but makes his ground.
Yeah, Taylor knew he had to hurry there. That was a great piece of work by Mason Crane down there. Moved very, very quickly to his left. Picked it up in one go and got the ball back in the air again really quickly. But still, Leonard managing to keep a good measure of control here, really. They want to finish well. Just 2 balls left of his spell.
Ooh.
Yeah,
followed him well there.
Beat him for pace there a little bit, I think.
Saw him sort of take that step back and the ball just followed him. So swing and a miss. Much needed dot ball again. Leonard's had a really good spell. Only 4 coming from this over so far. 1 ball to come.
And he's bowled him. Great way to finish. Ned Leonard strikes, gets his 2nd wicket. And it's Taylor, the Gloucestershire captain, who was starting to get motoring, who's gone. Bowled by Ned Leonard. And Gloucestershire now 153 for 5.
That's a beautiful last ball of his spell there. Taking the off stump. Really well bowled. Really well bowled, I think, today from Leonard.
Yeah, 2 for 22 his figures. Yeah, that's very decent. Really good economy rated below 6, below a run a ball. Definitely take that from your fast bowler. That's really good stuff.
It's excited the trombone player as well, isn't it?
It has. Looks like he's parked himself near our microphone as well.
I feel that's probably what he's done.
Well, lovely way to finish for Ned Leonard.
Yeah.
Hit the top of middle. Jack Taylor had a swing at it, tried to swing it to the leg side, didn't connect. And 2 for 22. His excellent season continues, Ned Leonard. As a fast bowler, it's so easy to kind of go around the park as players use the pace.
Yeah.
But actually, that's really good control from him. He's bowled really nicely. And taken out the 2 batters who had really got going, Charlesworth and Taylor. And so that brings Graham Van Buren.
No, I think it's Douthwaite, actually. I think that's, yes.
Yeah, Van Buren back to who's out for Gloucestershire, and the non-strikers Indian Dan Douthwaite. Yeah.
Sorry.
Our Dutch names. Looks for the Yorker. Yeah, I think Van Buren, I think he's played for Welsh. Has he played for Welsh Fire down here? I think he may have done. I can't remember now, but handy all-round cricketer. Batting at 7 now, so 154 for 5. Looking to get north of 170 at Gloucestershire. Slower ball from Douthwaite. Just going to be 1.
I think you'd be all right with that, wouldn't you? Once.
Yeah.
Oh, we have our
hey, it
musician.
Is a trombone.
It's a strikingly blue one.
It's a blue one. Yeah, I think
Glamorgan blue.
they're doing a good job.
It's wide, slaps through.
Bit of work
Sweeping
for Crane to
field,
do.
yeah,
Bit of work.
get there. Yes.
He's done really well. Has done really well.
Or they've thought about
Well, I
going
think he's
for
hurt his hand a little bit as well in the dive. He's down on his haunches. I don't know if he's just
caught his finger maybe.
caught his finger as he dived there. All his weight, and as a leg spinner, you don't want to be damaging those fingers. He's just holding his wrist, I think. It was a fantastic effort. So committed. Well, that's just says something about the attitude and the ethic of the team. That one of your top bowlers is prepared to sprint really hard and throw himself on the floor, put himself at risk to stop a boundary, and he did it really, really well. Saved a couple of runs for his team.
They look for 2.
He sends him back.
Yeah, that's great fielding again.
Van Buren wasn't confident he was going to get back.
No. Flat throws as well today have been really whipped back in.
Bread of Heaven on the trombone now, going through the full repertoire, trying to get this Welsh crowd going. Again, they're going to think about 2. Oh, doing really well in the field, Glamorgan here. Just keeping these to singles, backing the bowlers up here, really well out in the field. Putting a shift in is Mason Crane down there.
Yeah.
Still shaking his hand and his wrist. So Dan Douthwaite, just 6 off the over so far. This is his final ball. Goes for the wide Yorker again, and it's Mason Crane. All action, picks up beautifully in one take. Well, that's outstanding fielding from Mason Crane. Really adding value with his ability in the field. So 1 over to go, and who's going to bowl it? I guess it's possibly Tim van der Huften. Let's see. I think it is. He's taken his cap off.
So Leonard ended there 2 for 22 off his 4. Good spell.
Yeah, really good. I think he's been a really good find for Glamorgan this season. Was around on loan last season. Obviously liked the look of him, and has now signed a permanent deal. So I think it's just that pace that he has, which is something a little bit different to what they've got. So Tim van der Huften is going to finish things off from Glamorgan. Loads of experience. Gloucestershire 160 for 5. So what can they take off this final over?
Yeah, I mean they'll want to get 10 plus, won't they? If they can use the pace and just literally throw the bat at it, looking for 2. Oh, he's fallen.
He's fallen over.
Will he get back in time? Yes. Okay, he's got back in time.
Well,
yeah.
Again, they're doing so well, these fielders in the deep here for Glamorgan. I think a lot of teams would probably be taking 2s to these.
Yeah.
But they're keeping them to 1.
Just
working so hard.
Yeah, so quickly round to the ball. Again, those whipping throws in.
Yeah, it's a real skill to be able to run hard, pick the ball up and throw it all in one motion.
It's flat batted into that gap. Will he make this?
Oh, good
yes.
shot.
Split the pairs that are out there on the deep. But yeah, flat bat shot. Pulled from off. But a much needed 4 for Gloucestershire. Brings them up to 165 for 5.
Yeah, sounded nice off the bat, that one.
Yeah.
Much needed boundary just to try and get them up north of 170 if they can. So it's an innings that has promised at time to break out into something a bit bigger than it has been, but I think Glamorgan will be pleased how they've managed to keep a degree of control, and scoops that one over the top. 6. It's all the way. Lovely shot by Van Buren. The standing scoop just helped it over his left shoulder, and that has gone all the way.
I mean, he really did, didn't he? Just literally just helped it past him, just helped it over his left shoulder on its way. And effortless 6, really.
Great improvised shot. Used all the pace, It's not the biggest of boundary straight here at Cardiff, so if you've got that skill set, well, it's a really useful shot to play. Colin Ingram standing at short fine leg was never in the game there. It was miles over his head. Just a single then. Van Buren having a little flourish. Back up at the non-striker's end.
Yeah, 12 already, 2 balls to go. They'll be looking for at least another 4 or 5 here to take them up to 176, 178, something like that. To then put all that pressure back on Glamorgan. Must-win game for Glamorgan here today.
Yeah, they cannot afford to lose if they want to get into those quarter-final places. And that's been driven, flat batted out into the covers. Oh, good stop down there. It's Dan Douthwaite managed to pick it up on the dive.
Oh, no.
And Alex Horton has just not taken that cleanly, and they're taking a single. He immediately put his head in his gloves. Those little mistakes. Yeah, he's disappointed with that.
Yeah, sort of jogging back up to the stumps to take it. And then as he's known he's in trouble where it hits the wicket. Last ball. Oh,
right,
yeah.
and that's run out. There we go.
Boom.
So, 175 is Gloucestershire's final total as a run out ends proceedings. And, well, my feeling is that Glamorgan may be quite pleased that they've managed to keep them to that sort of score, really, because at one point they were very well set, weren't they? I felt that Gloucestershire, when they were sort of 4 for 130, that they really had a platform to really go on and try and push. And in the end, they never really got away. I think there was one expensive over that went for sort of more than 15, close to 20, but not many after that went for loads. That last over was quite expensive. But other than that, I think Glamorgan managed to maintain a degree of control, would you say?
I think so, yeah. I think that the key thing is taking those wickets when partnerships are starting to build and taking them at the right time. So I think Glamorgan did that well, so that no one really settled. Obviously unfortunate to drop Charlesworth, who went on to get 55, but in terms of how Glamorgan approached it, they didn't panic, they stuck to their plans, and I think, they'll be walking into that changing room going, well, we know we can get that total, we can score big here. Chasing on this ground is often the best way to do it. They know it well, but I think as well Gloucestershire will probably go into that thinking that's not bad. They have to get 176 to win now.
Yeah,
so
probably a competitive score. It feels like that, doesn't it? And so, I think a game finely balanced. You would hope here, and I think both sides have had their moments. But the only blemish from a Glamorgan perspective would be a couple of drop catches, and they maybe have kept them to 15 or 20 runs fewer had they have taken those.
Yeah, and I think down in that part of the ground is directly in the sunlight, so bit of empathy for the fielders down there, but they're professionals, they probably should be taking those. But the ground fielding today from Glamorgan has been fantastic, the way they've just covered the ground so quickly, and if we're diving, they're up into their throw straight back in, so I think that's potentially going to be the difference. Often a strong fielding side is a winning side, so I think they've done brilliantly today on their ground fielding. Yeah,
Mason Crane in particular was outstanding, particularly at the end there, really putting his body on the line for the team and doing a great job. So Glamorgan then need 176 to win here at Sapphire Gardens in this second leg of the big double header here, the 7-side derby, Battle of the Bridge. And in the first game, the Glamorgan women came out on top. Can Glamorgan men do the same? Of course, currently lying in 4th place in the table in the the southern division of the Vitality Blast tables. They, I think, going to have to rely on Sussex or Hampshire doing them a favour, and so there'll be a keen eye on the other scores around the grounds this afternoon. But certainly you'd hope that 176 is a total they'd be confident chasing. Of course, they hit 220 against Surrey on Friday night.
Yeah.
So the batsmen are running into form. I think most of the batsmen have got a good score.
Yeah.
In the Glamorgan top 6. certainly Carlson's had some runs and Smale at the top and then through the middle order as well. Let's just have a quick look then at the Gloucestershire card. So Hammond got them off to a good start, didn't he, really? And then there was that bang bang from Callaway, came straight on and took 2 in 2 to get rid of the 2 Australians, Short and Bancroft. And but then after that, a nice rebuilding job done by Charlesworth and Taylor. And at the end then, a little flurry from Graham Van Buren. Played some funky shots to get Gloucestershire up to a very decent total. We'll show you the bowling figures now. We have a special guest in the break here who's just sliding into the seat alongside me. We'll just wait and see if we can show you the bowling figures. Here we go. So you'd say pick of the bowlers, probably Ned Leonard, 2 for 22 from his 4. Great economy rate as well. And a couple of wickets too from Ben Callaway. Took those 2 wickets in successive balls. Yeah, a bit expensive. Imad, I guess, by his standards, he'll be a bit disappointed again to go close to 10 and over. And no luck too for Mason Crane. Brilliant work in the field, but didn't quite happen for him with the ball. They will, of course, say that he had at least 1 catch dropped off his bowling. So, that's the state of the game. 175 is the Gloucestershire score. Glamorgan need 176 to win. And joining me now as our special guest in the interval is the head of women's cricket here at Glamorgan, Amy Rees. Well, Amy, congratulations first on a great win earlier. You must have been buzzing after that. Well, let me switch. Hang on, Amy. There, you switched on now.
It was brilliant. The girls were so good, and actually 1,100 people in watching them. They wouldn't have had that opportunity very often to play in front of that many people. So I think they did really well, and it was very clinical, I thought, the performance.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, the way they chased down 114 with, I mean, I don't know how you, well, I don't know if you were in the dugout when Lauren's wicket went down early on. I mean, it was a stunning catch, wasn't it?
Really
to lose your captain that early on to a catch like that, you could, I imagine some teams might think, oh, it's not going to be our day today. But the way that Beth came in and Beth, they played beautifully, didn't they?
They played so well and so calm. And I think that's the one thing all our batters have been all season, is really calm in those situations. And they did really well, and to get us over the line and with a bonus point and to get us qualified for the finals, brilliant.
Yeah, so you're preparing for finals day. That's really exciting.
Yeah.
And I guess the first season of this new entity, you must be chuffed.
Oh, we are really pleased, and I think the transition the girls have made from being completely amateur to now having some real support and science and medical support and cricket support, you couldn't have asked for more from them, really. You know, they're all going back to work tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's the difference, is that they're still trying to do that, and they're still playing at a level here where there's a pressure and an expectation, but they cope with it so well. I think it's something they should be really proud of, and that's what we said to them earlier, really.
Yeah, so you're most of the way through the season and got to finals day in the Blast competition already. I mean, what were your hopes and expectations at the start of the season? What at the start, when this whole thing started back in April, that the season started, what would you have taken as a good season, and are you already getting there?
Yeah, look, we're really pleased with what's happened. I didn't really go into the season with a lot of expectations for us for the next 2 years. It's about learning as much as possible we can about those players, trying to prepare them for professional cricket. But I think what they've done so far has been fantastic and probably exceeded my expectations, I would say, from where we were. Yeah.
And you've obviously got quite a strong leadership group. I mean, you can sort of see it out on the field. There are a couple of players there who... like Beth Gammon as well, who's, I know she's got a big role in developing young players, hasn't she? A lot of the younger players look to her anyway, given that her job is in the elite pathway to bring players through. But with Lauren as well, look like you've got some strong leaders who I imagine you want to build the culture of what your team is going to be like.
Those girls have been playing cricket for Wales for a very long time, and they've played an awful lot of cricket. What they haven't been exposed to is playing in stadiums like this, in front of crowds. So normally we turn up and play cricket and there'll be 30, 40 people there watching. So they've coped really well with that, but we've managed to keep that group together for a long time, and the culture within it allows them to do that, and they're actually really good friends outside of cricket, which I think is something that probably helps keep them together. And they've had new girls come into the environment and they've accepted them so well. There's been no sort of like undertones of anything. It's been a really good environment, and I think actually they have some really good honest conversations as well. When things aren't good enough, they will say they're not good enough, which is something, you know, you want, but you don't always get in a sort of amateur environment. You get that more in a professional environment, I think. But they're really, you can't speak highly enough of them, really.
Well, that's great to hear. And you're saying how exciting it is to be playing in front of a crowd. I mean, sort of, how are the players responding to this? And to be playing here in the stadium in a double header, to have equal billing with the men. That's pretty exciting stuff. How are they coping with that? Like you say, players who probably just played mainly club cricket in front of a handful of people.
I think they've coped really well with it. Like I said, the calmness of it. Like this morning when we got here, there was a lot of joking and laughing, and I thought a few of them would be a bit more nervous than this, but actually they were really good. And like I said, like they prepared properly this morning. They don't get overawed by the situation. They want to put on a really good show, because they're talking about like, oh, do you think are they come to watch us? I'm like, yeah, they have come to watch you because you've been playing really well. You have to sort of accept that, but it comes with a bit of expectation then. Yeah,
and they are a good watch. I mean, I've seen them bat a few times here, and you've got some proper ball strikers in your side. I think that was one of the real difference when we analysed the way the two sides have batted earlier in the game. That Gloucestershire were finding it quite hard to find the boundary. I think they only hit 6 boundaries, which says something about Glamorgan's bowling as well, of course. But they only hit 6 boundaries. But Glamorgan had got that under their belt within the power play, and they've got players who are good to watch, who can hit a long ball and find the boundaries, which in white ball cricket makes all the difference.
Oh, absolutely. And we talk about intent all the time, to score and to find boundaries, and look, it's still something they're developing and they're getting better at, but they've made huge strides in a short amount of time, really.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, Kieran Carlson and Will Smell are making their way back. You're very welcome to stay if you want for a little bit. I'm sure Kath won't mind. She's been working hard. It's a double header for Kath as well, so she'll probably enjoy going to have a cup of tea out the back. You're very welcome to stay for a couple of overs if you'd like. And go on, why not? Stay for a couple of overs. Is that all right, Kath? And I'm sure are your duties formally ended for the day, or have you got more to do? They have.
No, I'm just watching now, enjoying the watch. Yeah.
Well done. That's good. And so, what have you made of it so far? Did you manage to catch much of the Gloucestershire innings?
Yeah, I thought we bowled well. To some really good ball strikers and to get a couple of wickets early on. But I think the girls actually, this is the first time they've had the opportunity to watch a double header, so they're really enjoying it up on the balcony.
Yeah. So how's it work with the dressing rooms? So the women have got the dressing room up there. Where are the blokes changing?
So Glamorgan are in the home dressing room and away dressing rooms. The women have the dressing room up there. That is our dressing room now.
Great,
so
excellent.
It's all done up with pictures of the girls. And
okay, there's two.
Yes.
Okay, great. I haven't been up there, so I'm not sure what the setup is, but lovely. Well, it's great to see. So good. Okay, so it's David Payne to begin things. Kieran Carlson, the Glamorgan captain, straight off the mark. So 176 is what Glamorgan need to win, which is 8.8, the required rate. And a lot of their batters have been in good form this season. Again, more of them in the runs on Will Smale, and a big knock from Asa Tribe and Colin Ingram as well. Fantastic 60 odd against Surrey on Friday. Sadly not in a winning cause. So you can expect them to play with a bit of intent, you'd think.
There were loads of positives to take out of that game on Friday night. When they even to lose, but scored 220, have them for 16 for 3. Like, there was lots of positives to that.
No, that's true. That's true. Yeah, it's a big score. Surrey do have quite a team, though. Pretty much an international team, isn't it? Most of the players on their side have played international cricket, so...
They just kept coming.
Yeah.
One after the other, didn't they?
Yeah. After Glamorgan had him on the rack a bit in the power play as well, but let's see how it goes here in the power play. Kieran Carlson swings that away, doesn't quite go where he wants. Just another single. I think he was looking more for the mid-wicket region, but kind of a bit of an inside edge. Flicked it down to deep square leg, and there are the women's team up on the balcony. Their work done. Very impressive it was too. And they can sit back and enjoy themselves now and just watch the cricket for the rest of the afternoon. Got the day after a fantastic start from a Welsh perspective. Can the men follow suit now? As Will Smell goes for the scoop, doesn't make it. That's a good piece of work there behind the stumps. But Kieran Carlson is quick, and he's back in time to a half-hearted appeal in the end. But he made his ground, had to hurry. Good dive and throw.
Will Smale's very skilled at those shots, isn't he? Playing those ramps.
He is. Yeah, it takes courage to play those. It always feels, but I suppose they practice it, and so now I guess those shots are just one of the armory of shots that they have. They're an option that they've got. Back in the old days, very rarely would people practice those, but these days, when 5-leg and third men are up, just a great option. It's in the air. It's going to fall short of the man at deep point. It's Darcy Short out there, the Australian we saw earlier, opening the batting. So the end of the first over, 6 without loss. And what's the key to the power play, Amy? We saw that even though the women lost a wicket, there was plenty of intent still, and I suppose that's the mindset you have to go out with.
Yeah, especially in the men's game, that they're capable of scoring boundary after boundary, and I think that's the difference you notice really between the women's and the men's game. We were 50 odd off the power play, but have done it very differently to how the men will go about it now. And look, Will Smale and Kieran will be really aggressive here, and they'll be looking to get as many boundaries as possible.
So Josh Shaw to open up for Gloucestershire from the River Taff end. Smale again, goes for the improvisation. That's a nice looking shot, and that one runs away for 4. He does play that so well, and that's his first boundary. And Glamorgan's first boundary. Move right across outside off stump. Quite hard to know where to bowl when you can play that shot from that ball.
That'll get him going now as well, to have the confidence to keep going and play those shots, and also look to capitalise on your 2 fielders being out.
Well, they've moved fine leg now out of the circle and back down onto the boundary. So the 2 deep fielders on the leg side now. Pulls into a big wide open space, and that is huge. All the way for 6, and as Amy said, that has got Will Smale going. Oh yeah, he got all of that, didn't he? Lovely strike.
It's a really good strike, and I wonder if he'll go for the ramp again, or he's going to go just look to hit boundaries as much as he possibly can.
So there's a big vacant space out there on the mid-wicket boundary. Tries to run that one, I think, in the air through the kind of the third man area. Didn't connect this time. It's certainly showing that he's capable of scoring 360, which is the modern way. And the quick singles, of course, these 2 do run well. And that was one of the things we noticed about Bethan Ellis's innings earlier, actually. Her wagon wheel, the places where she got her boundaries, was literally right round 360. I think she sort of took them from every part of the ground, really. So that was really lovely to see.
I think that's the difference you see a little bit with the girls who come from Tier 1 to Tier 2. When they drop down to that level, they can score 360, and that's what we're trying to show our players, that that's what you've got to aim to be doing.
Tries to whip it through. Little misfield, short mid-wicket. Allows them to scramble through. It's Darcy Shorts there, fielding on the dry pitches. Well, the bounces can be erratic and yeah, not an easy place to field. Diving around on those hard pitches. He's one of the ones with the long sleeves on to protect his elbows. So good over for Glamorgan so far, this one. We'll get one more. So 13 from it. Good from a Glamorgan perspective. After 2 overs, they're now 19 without loss.
In this warm weather, we advise you to keep cool here at Sapphire Gardens if you can.
These these two have been a really good opening partnership for Glamorgan this season, I think, and have got some really good partnerships and got really good starts for the team as well.
They have. It was sort of like a bit of a refresh of the batting order at the start of the season, and now they really seem to have settled into their places in this top 6 now.
Yeah.
Real kind of exciting introduction of young blood. Well, Will Smell did play last season, didn't he? He did play for most of the season, but again has really sort of looked established and has played some big innings. So David Payne, tall left arm, is going to continue from the Cathedral Road end. Will Smell already was raced on to 14 from just 8 balls. Think about 2. Oh, that's really well run. That's really well run. Well, it was just the weight of the shot was perfect. Didn't hit it too hard, and that allowed them time to come back. That was a real feature of this pair's batting, just how hard they run between the wickets. And when Gloucestershire were batting, actually, there were a lot of occasions where they were only able to take singles because of the quality of the Glamorgan outfielding. So, good signs. Upish, but never. There's just wide open spaces there. No one really saving one in that area. Yeah, sorry, you going to say?
I was just going to say there's been very few dot balls is there from this. They've kept the strike rotating really well and picked up boundaries where they can, and hopefully they can keep that going in the power play now.
Yeah. Do the men and women's team have any sort of shared activities, or do they come together at all? Or at any point, it'd be interesting to know sort of with the sort of passing on of knowledge and experience.
So we've been.
Oh, lovely shot! That's a great shot. And has that gone all the way? Just swung round the corner, just landed just inside the boundary, and that's a lovely fast hands sweep from Kieran Carlson. Got down on one knee and swung it through fine leg for a boundary. Sorry, you were saying?
No, I was just saying we did the media day for the first time together, which was really good, and there was lots of interaction there. Quite a few of the men's players coach in our programme, so that's really helpful.
In the air and out. Kieran Carlson has gone. Hits it uppishly into the covers. And that's the breakthrough that Gloucestershire needed. Kieran Carlson can't quite believe what he's done. Trudging off to the pavilion.
Caught by Graham Van Buren off the bowling of David Payne for 7.
So the new batsman for Glamorgan is Alex Horton. Yeah, just drove it in the air. Just seemed to mistime it. It was sort of looped up really.
Another slower ball by David Payne, I think.
Yeah, skillfully bowled. So that's what Gloucestershire need really, to take some wickets in this power play and put a bit of pressure on this Glamorgan batting lineup. Brings Alex Horton, wicketkeeper batsman, to the crease as has forced his way into the side ahead of Chris Cook halfway through the season. Chris Cook, of course, one of the great players of Glamorgan in recent years. Has had a lean season by his high standards. With Alex Horton showing what he can do in the second team competition, really hitting the ball hard. He's earned the right to bat at 3 in the Blast first team. Overthrows. Alex Horton's lying on the floor. Oh, has that gone? No. Did they take a run there?
Yeah, they did take one.
Just take one in the end.
Yeah.
Could have been more. He was lying flat on his tummy when the last time I looked up. There we go. Well, that was a strange passage of play. And Alex Horton moving slightly gingerly there. I think he must have slipped, did he? And ended up in a heap. When I looked round, saw him lying flat on his stomach as the ball was heading off towards the mid-wicket boundary. So just a single after all of that. So at the end of the third over, Glamorgan doing what they need to do at this stage, 28 for 1.
Refreshments are available this afternoon.
So you've got one more game on Friday night then, Amy, in the blast competition before finals day. What's the plan, and how are you going to prep for finals day?
Oh, we play every game to try and win, and we'll be doing that again here on Friday, and hopefully put in a really good performance again. Hopefully lots of people can come and watch, and girls just get ready for finals day then the week after on the 26th up in Northants.
And I guess you want people to come and watch and come support you.
Yeah, definitely.
Time to start booking the coach.
Yeah, but the coach is booked.
For the fans as well, it'd be nice to take a few coaches down, wouldn't it? I'm sure there'll be lots of clubs, and that's a lovely shot, beautifully played. Off his legs, Will Smell, clipped through mid-wicket for 4. Yeah, you hope that you could get a reasonable crowd along. Always a fantastic, fun day, isn't it, to potentially get 2 matches in?
Yeah.
And let's hope you do.
Absolutely. So it'll depend where we finish in the table, depends if we play first or second and who we play, but whichever team you play, if you want to win it, you've got to win all the games, haven't you? So.
Well, there's going to be 2 here again. They've knocked that right into the space between the 2 converging fielders. And so bonus point today as well, so I guess important.
Yep.
We talked about that earlier in the game as well. So what chance of finishing top do you think now?
Oh, I think the Kent game when we didn't bowl a ball probably hampered us a little bit now. Middlesex would have to lose a game for us to finish top, I think. So, but we'll give it a good go anyway. Look, we'll come to play good cricket on Friday and hopefully put on a bit of a show again.
Well, get your tickets, glamorgancricket.com. Oh, good strike. And again, that's a beautiful hit. Clears the boundary again. And Will Smell is really going now. Another big hit. That's a long boundary, isn't it? That's probably the longest one on the ground. And he's just cleared it. Lovely strike.
30 or 14 balls as well. He's really going at 200 strike rate here, pushing the game on for the team.
Yeah, fantastic stuff. Good hitting from Will Smale. Picking up where he left off at the Oval on Friday. But hoping for a different result here. So the chase has started well. Taking advantage of some of those wide open spaces in the power play. So they have now moved a fielder to deep mid-wicket to try and cut off that boundary option. Yeah, Singdale varying the pace a little bit. That one really sort of skidded through with the pace off and bounced through to the keeper. It's Cameron Bancroft with the gloves on.
It's the best place to bat in the power play, but also hard because you're trying to be really aggressive, but you don't want to lose wickets either.
Yeah.
So it's actually really brave to keep going at it.
Pulls. It's a good piece of fielding. It keeps it to 1. So it's been a good over so far. 13 from it. Yeah, Will Smell looks in the mood. As the trombonist is continues to try and get the crowd going. So a few adjustments in the field now, just dropping third man down and bringing up the backward point fielder. Comfortably home in the end. Horton hit it straight to mid-off, but set off straight away, no hesitation. So good over there for Glamorgan, 14 from it, 42 for 1, and Amy, it's been lovely to see you. Good luck with the game on Friday, and we'll catch up with you soon, if not before finals day. Good luck with everything, and please pass on our congratulations to the team. So 42 for 1, the Gloucestershire supporters. Well, too early to say how things are going at the moment. They haven't had far to travel, but enjoying their afternoon, topping their tans up as well. That was lovely to see Amy. Kind of had a pop in.
Yeah, good to get her on comms for a bit, just to give that insight.
Yeah,
always great to hear
how things are going. Yeah, they did play so well earlier on. Such a positive vibe around the women's team. Yeah, and Will Smale has started nicely here, Kath.
He really some big hitting. It's been really good. So yeah, I think he's the strike rate's the impressive bit, isn't it? The strike rate is very good. 31 off 16 balls and some big hitting from him.
Yeah, it's been encouraging. There's been no sort of pause when Carlson went. Sometimes teams can just feel like they consolidate for an over or two, or just sort of. But he hasn't done. He's just kept going, which has been great. He's on strike now. To short. Ooh.
It's through.
Cheeky inside edge.
Yep.
It's not where he wanted it to go, but it matters not. 4 more runs to the total.
Yeah, just nip through there. Keeper not really able to get across so quickly to that one. Whipping through.
Is the trombonist trying to play along to this Queen song, or is that just he playing a different tune?
He's just warming up for his next rendition of something. Not sure what yet. We will find out.
So Smale, 35 from 17.
Oh, he's done the same.
Top edge again,
Yeah.
and that's 4 more. Well, he's had a bit of luck, but fortune favours the brave.
I think he's showing exactly his intent, what he's looking to do here. Just push that run rate on, take the game to the bowlers, so they just can't find their line in length. If you're moving around so much in the crease like Smale is, he's just, you don't know where to put it, because he's just capitalising as quickly as he can.
Well, sure, we'll be feeling pretty miffed about that. Let's see how we can respond. Oh, and Smale again charges him. Doesn't get much good contact this time.
No.
I think it was a little inside edge onto the pads, but just a single. So Horton's just played a supporting role, just basically getting the single and going watching Will Smale from the other end here. It's been a successful formula so far. Does hit a long ball himself, does Alex Horton, former England under-19 wicket keeper.
Yeah, if both of them kick on, this could be
Yeah, and plenty of batting to come
quick
as well.
scoring, yes.
Well, that's it, just keep those singles ticking.
Yeah, get Smale back on strike. So, Will Smale started really strongly here today. Good clean hitting as well. Obviously some of the last 2 not so much, but some of those 6s have been absolutely straight out of the middle of the bat. So.
Yeah, it's a long way down
Yeah.
there. Long way. So he's already into the 40s now, Will Smale, of just 19 balls. Good wide Yorker,
Yeah.
for sure. It's hard to get those away. It's a slightly risky delivery, just getting a touch on that, and that could easily race past one of the fielders of saving one in third man and backward point region, but thankfully for Gloucestershire perspective, Smale couldn't lay bat on ball, and still a really good start for Glamorgan. 53 for 1 after 5 overs, just 1 more over in the power play now.
I think that shows what Will Smale's looking to do, use the power play as much as possible, whilst again you've got those fielding restrictions in play, just trying to capitalise as quickly as he can. So I think Horton probably looking to either go himself or get Will Smale back on the strike.
Yeah.
Wouldn't want to be the mascot today. I saw him earlier. He was taking a break in one of the air-conditioned rooms. It must be ridiculously hot in those
You know who it
suits.
is?
I don't know who it is.
Well, I'm sorry if we've just ruined anyone, any sort of children's imaginations there. No, of course, he's a real person. Morgan the mascot. Oh, that's in the air. Now that has gone very, very, very high. And it's very well taken.
Yeah.
David Payne takes the catch. And so Horton goes short stay. Just the 4 runs. And he hit that well. It went really, really high, but just needed the wind to blow it over the rope, really. And didn't quite just have the legs. So Horton goes for just 4. And Gloucestershire take their 2nd wicket. Well, 2 wickets in the power play is a reasonable return. 3 would be nice.
Just came onto him quite quickly again, just came slightly off the top of the bats. Just wasn't enough to carry it over that boundary. So yeah, Horton fortunately making his way, but it does bring Kellaway into the mix, which would be good to see.
Because that was big Marchant de Lange taking the wicket with his first ball there. Former Glamorgan player as well, probably that extra height and bounce may have been a factor in inducing the ball to go straight up in the air. So Ben Callaway, yeah, high hopes for him here at the club. One of the genuinely outstanding young players you think around in the county scene at the moment. All-rounder, has had a couple of great tons in the championship, and has also bowled some beautiful stuff with the ball as well, in both red and white ball. So a valuable cricketer. We've seen what he does in the field as well. So genuine all-rounder in every facet of the game.
Starting strong here, Gloucester. They've only got 2 out, so again they're sticking with the tight.
And he's gone first ball. Callaway has gone. Marchant de Lange banging into the pitch, induces a leading edge from Callaway, and all of a sudden Gloucestershire have 3 wickets in the power play as Callaway goes first ball. Well, that's a big blow. That is a big blow. Things can swing so quickly.
Yeah, I was just sort of saying that, you know, even though the restrictions are lifted, Gloucestershire keeping everybody in that inner ring, and rightly so for that result, just completely off the top of the bat, trying to work it away, easy catch.
It was a short ball kind of getting up towards the rib area, and rather than sort of pulling it, he sort of fended at it with a straight bat, and I think that was just hit the leading edge and looped up into the covers. So again, de Lange's on a hat-trick. We saw this earlier, it was Callaway actually himself who was on a hat-trick. So de Lange, former Glamorgan player, wasn't the best of balls, going down the leg side really.
Tried to work it off his hips, didn't he, and it just
gets a bit
squared
of
him
luck.
up.
And Van Buren takes the catch, and suddenly, well, 3 wickets in the power play, and a bit of pressure back on Glamorgan here. They were hoping not to see Colin Ingram this early on.
Left-handed.
But he's in batting at 5, Glamorgan's most experienced, one of Glamorgan's greats, and they need him now. And straight away.
Nicely done.
Beautiful. So strong. He has economy of backlift, Colin Ingram. A lot of the sixes he was hitting at the Oval on Friday night just has such a relatively small follow-through, and it just must be such powerful forearms that ball absolutely flies off his bat. Well, that's a nice start. That's the way to deal with a hat-trick ball. Hit it for fall-through point.
Settle the nerves as well, which is good.
Glamorgan will want him to hang around for a little bit here, and I suppose this is the thing, not to take your foot off the pedal, even though you've lost a couple of wickets. That one fizzes past the outside edge.
And he's definitely got an extra spring in his step at the moment, de Lange, hasn't he?
Well, he's lively, and he has the height as well. He's a big man. He's sort of quite a intimidating bloke, isn't he? Big shoulders,
definitely.
Tall man. Yeah, slightly intimidating sight, seeing him charging in towards you. Colin Ingram has seen it all before. Well, that's his area, and he's put that away as well.
A great dive from the fielder there. I'm not sure if he was in with a chance, but certainly.
Is he holding his hand? I think he might
maybe
have got
something on that then. Yeah.
It's so hard though, wasn't it?
It's going like a bullet. That.
Yeah.
Even the replay's too quick.
Yeah. Well, our cameramen are good, but even the best cameramen, that was going like a tracer bullet once it left his bat.
Yeah.
So we've had 2 wickets and 2 boundaries this over. Good contest between bat and ball.
Like you say, that is his area.
So, eventful, 8 from it, but the 2 wickets crucially. Marchant de Lange, that's a great O from him, as he felt has hauled his side back into this contest really now. Glamorgan going quite well, 61, but it's the wickets column that's going to be of concern to them. 3 wickets down in the power play, which is never normally a good sign.
No, nothing wrong with the run rate. Obviously up in the 10, only 8.21 required. Like you say, 3 people back in the changing rooms would be a slight concern for Glamorgan, but if Smell can push on here, you know.
Having said that, Surrey were 4 down in the power play on Friday night, and they ended up recovering. Well, it did take something pretty special, sort of an unbeaten 120 from Dan Lawrence, but
yeah, you want Smell to get a good total here today. You want him to be
he started well
in the 60s to 80s, hopefully. Just
Ajit Singh Dale now swapped ends. He's coming in from the Cathedral Road end now, which is where we're situated in the commentary box, high up above this lovely ground on a beautiful day here in Cardiff, the Welsh capital. Soaring temperatures. Thankfully a little bit of a breeze as well, just taking the edge off those temperatures. Ismail takes a single. Of course, Gloucestershire now allowed to put 3 more fielders out into the deep.
yeah, so we've got a left and right hand combination, which again always then puts that pressure back on the fielding side to make those adjustments each time. So some Dale coming, switching sides for the left-hander to Ingram. Again, just worked off the hip for a single.
Yeah, they look like they were only going to take a single from the start.
Yeah.
I didn't really think about
No 2 there.
no persuading. So 63 for 3. You have to say, pretty balanced game at the moment. Which way is it going to go? Oof. That was definitely the effort ball from Ajit Singh Dale, so much so that he ended up flat on his face. He just skidded a bit, I think his foot slipped away. Has a little word with the umpire on the way back. Sporting the black headband today. Certainly runs in quick, puts a lot of effort in. Oh, getting a bit of bounce. Goes over the top of Will Smell's bat. I think he was looking to try and get that in the air over the point third man region, but didn't make any contact. So bending his back here, Ajit Singh Dale. Just 2 singles from 5 balls so far. Really good over. Just trying to build up a bit of pressure, induce an error from one of these Glamorgan batters. Full toss, but it's only going to be a single. So tidy over, just 3 singles from it.
Good over.
So this feels finely balanced.
It does. I think, you know, obviously Glamorgan's rates just slowed down there. We've just dropped off a little bit, but nothing, certainly nothing to worry about. Still within the required run rate. But I think, you know, they're just going to consolidate a bit here. Only 7 overs gone, but 3 wickets down. So obviously look to just build a partnership here. Smell's going really well, 42 for 25. And Ingram, we know, can hit big as well. So I think these two, if they can create a good partnership going, just take that pressure off the following Glamorgan players coming in, that would be a great help. But Langer, great figures of 2 for 8, off 1 over. Obviously not going to take him out of the attack anytime soon. So look to try and get...
Well, he certainly made things happen in his first over.
Yeah.
Here he comes again to Will Smale. Well, he falls over too, so what's going on out there? Is it this sandy surface or something that somehow they're not gripping? And a new bat has been called for by Colin Ingram. Something's happened to that one. Which one's it going to be? He's got a
so many
choice.
to choose from,
It'd
yeah.
be nice to have a choice. Yeah, likes the feel of that one. Let's hope from a Glamorgan perspective it's got a good middle on it.
dug in.
Yeah, he's on the mark.
Yeah.
Trying not to give Ingram any width, really. Don't have to give him much outside off stump, and he'll be flaying it through point.
Yeah. And the Lang looked like he almost was going to fall down again, almost in that follow through. So whether it's just so dry, you're in between spikes and half spikes on a day like today. I think he's just throwing absolutely everything into it.
Yeah, it's pretty dry and dusty out there, isn't it,
Yeah.
really? I don't know whether that's just they're not gripping on their effort ball and they really pull the studs through and they're just giving way as it's so sort of powdery and dry around the crease. Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, and he's certainly attacking it, so it's not an amble in by any stretch of the imagination from Dylan.
Oh, in the air and out. The smell has gone, and Marchant de Lange is doing a brilliant job for Gloucestershire here. Will Smell, he holds out to mid-on, didn't get hold of it, went to pull it, just got it high on the bat, and it just loops to mid-on. And Gloucestershire, well, you'd have to say they've put themselves in a good position here.
Yeah, that's a real blow for Glamorgan, I feel. Smell was doing brilliantly, but just almost toe end of the bat, just didn't get hold of it at all. And he's trudging his way back, 43 off 23 balls, but a brilliant sort of start from Will Smell to get Glamorgan into a good position, but 4 wickets down.
Yeah, de Lange's causing a bit of trouble for his old county here. 3 quick wickets.
Yeah.
Has really sort of changed the face of this chase at the moment. Brings Asa Tribe out into the middle. Him and Colin Ingram paired again. They had a fantastic partnership on Friday night down at the Oval. But words of experience passed on from the experienced campaigner to the young starlet.
Yeah, so Gloucestershire will definitely have a spring in their step at the moment. 4 wickets taken, and Ingram only on 10. And Tribe new to the crease, but like I say, he scored an excellent 56 off 30 balls, not out in the week.
He's
See
in
what he
good
can do
form.
today.
Greeted with a bouncer.
Probably a wide. That seemed to significantly go over his head, and I think the umpire's signalled wide. There we go.
A bit too short, that one.
Yeah.
Not everyone's as tall as you, Marchant.
Excellent figures so far, though. 3 for 12 off 1.4.
Yeah, it's been really good. He's just made it happen, hasn't he,
Yeah.
really?
We'll take that any day of the week.
It's really kind of just set the momentum out of this Glamorgan innings. We've got to hurry here. Goes to Colin Ingram's end, but I think he was probably home. Well, good running. Responded to the call, did Asa Tribe, and they raced through for a single.
Making the umpire work here at the moment. Having to switch sides each time.
In a club game, you can be bothered to stand where you are, but that's sadly in a professional era, that's a professional game. That's not what happens.
Always.
Yeah, that's a bit of pace in there, isn't it? Well
Absolutely
played in the
watched
end.
that.
Got behind it, and
Giving him a bit of afters as well, I think.
so 4 from the over and the wicket. So Marchant de Lange really doing a job for his team here. 3 wickets, an outstanding performance from him. And these fans here, well, they don't know which way it's going to go. It's going to be a good contest between bat and ball. There's real jeopardy at the moment in this game. It's one of those I found that managed to find a bit of shade around the ground. Very welcome.
And there's like a heavy presence on that top tier
Just,
to our right.
So everyone's moving north, aren't they? Moving
Yeah.
up to the top of the main Pro Steel engineering stand, where there's about 4 rows at the moment which are in the shade, and I think that's gradually going to disappear, that shade as well. So I imagine you might see a few swinging around to go and sit around more in the pavilion side.
So change of bowler, Charlesworth into the attack.
And Ingram drives. That's a good looking shot.
Yes.
And Singdale can't get round. Loses his glasses in the process. And that's a really welcome boundary. Again, the economy of swing from Colin Ingram. Lovely shot.
Yeah,
Just got
beautiful
enough on
drive.
it. Yeah, welcome boundary. And we would like him to stick around for a bit. If he can stay around for 10 overs, well, you'd think Glamorgan might end up being pretty close to where they need to be.
Oof.
Ooh,
driven
has
straight
that been
back
put
to him.
down? Bounce ball, I
No,
think.
bounce ball, but it's going back at a pace to him. You've got to be really aware. In the men's game particularly, those balls coming straight back to you at quite a pace. Here we go.
Sing along if you know it.
Oh,
Big finish. It's the
yeah.
big finish.
The
Nice.
descant change there, yeah, lovely. So Charles within, so 5 off his first 2 balls. Or
Mason Tron comes dancing
yeah,
down.
he did. He came right out of his crease by a good couple of feet there to try and meet the ball.
I think it was a bit wider than he was hoping. Charlesworth got 55 with the bat, was the standout batter earlier for Gloucestershire. What can he do with the ball now? Try and whips at it from outside off stump. Through the mid-on region, just for a single. Plenty of bottom hand in that shot.
So that run rate has dropped down now to, they were up in the 10s, 10.61. Now at 8.65, so just slightly behind the required run rate, but again, still very much in
That's the power of wicket taking, isn't
Yeah.
it? Really, just
contention.
Will Smell for a while was playing very freely, wasn't he? And felt like he was taking risks and getting away with it. I think
Yeah.
these two now, probably the last recognised out-and-out batters. Some good all-rounders to come, but Dan Dathwaite probably in next. But yeah, you want these two to do most of the work from a Glamorgan perspective if you can.
It's worked away for 1, didn't quite get hold of that. I think it could have potentially very square of the wicket. There is a gap there for, but it's interestingly, the other umpire's not going swapping sides. So he's just staying
Well, there
put.
we go.
He's like,
Clearly-
so what for that,
clearly
caper
he's
today?
clearly as lazy as me. It's a hot day. Save yourself a
Yeah,
walk.
definitely. You'd rather have the sun on your back than in your face, probably as well as an umpire. We went
Just
through-
one more
Yeah.
again. Just so decent over, 8 from it.
Yeah.
It's close to what they need. I suppose it's just a little bit about consolidation at the moment as well. Just trying to raise a try to get in. Colin Ingram's faced 11 balls and has looked pretty settled so far. But certainly for these fans here watching today's Battle of the Bridge,
Yeah.
there's plenty of jeopardy. No one really knows which way it's going to go. It's finely balanced, you'd say. Possibly, maybe with Gloucestershire having the edge, really.
Yeah, certainly that. It's a fine balance at the moment. I think if they got one more wicket quite quickly here, they certainly would be in the driving seat today. But
And well, no surprise to see DeLanger
Yeah.
continuing, destroyer in chief of the Glamorgan top order. 3 wickets so far. It's just looked aggressive and a little bit nasty, making things happen. Gives himself a bit of room. Just takes 1. Was off playing for Jersey last week, was Asa Tribe. Flew into Amsterdam, had a game there and then flew back. On the same day, I think. Just so he could play in the Blast games.
yeah, like
I
it, like the
think
commitment.
he only got about 4, so a lot of effort.
Oh, it's
In the
dug
end,
in.
Jersey, despite beating Scotland, didn't make it through, I think, in the end. So His brother Zach also playing in the team. Good victory over Scotland. Not long ago, Scotland beat England in a one-day international, I remember.
I don't remember that at all. Did that happen? Are you sure?
Yeah.
Sorry. Can't.
Oof. It's gone over the top of the stumps there. Marchant de Lange gives it maximum shout, disappointment, down on his haunches, having a look at the batter. Using all that power of intimidation that he's got.
Yeah, which is quite a lot.
Pacer tried, just taking a little while to get going here.
Oh.
And again,
Yeah. Very good bowling.
getting some bounce here.
Yeah.
This is not an easy time to come in. I'll be glad to see the back of him, de Lange. He's got 8 balls left in his
Yeah,
spell.
would you bowl him through or would you hold him back? I think I'd bowl him through.
Well, yeah, I think he's he's done the
Key.
damage, hasn't he? Why wait?
Yeah.
If he's bowling with this sort of rhythm, keep him going. Digs
He's
out
gone for it.
Yorker.
Oh yeah, easy single in the end.
Oh, should be glad to be off striking up the other end.
Yeah, it's like get me
Didn't look
down the
easy.
other end.
So over to you, Colin. So Colin Ingram, one of Glamorgan's greatest white ball players, so experienced. Had a slow start in this competition, but has really picked up.
Dug in. Oof.
And again, a bit of a false stroke.
Yeah. So for the first time in the match, Glamorgan are actually behind the required run rate at the moment, and like I say, it's all down to de Lange. Actually, is really great
Yeah.
tight bowling there.
Fabulous. Just
Yeah.
5 singles from that over, or 4 singles in fact. So
Yeah.
he's has really brought Gloucestershire back into this game. Really impressive stuff.
Glamorgan need a few sort of key overs, I think. Here, it's needs to be trying to build that momentum back up, get that run rate back on track. You don't want it to slip too much, and then you're chasing the game. They don't quite have the wickets in hand at the moment, so they are 4 down. So bringing Singdale back into the attack, and Ingram on strike. He's currently 19 off 13 balls. Glamorgan 81 for 4 off 10. That's wide. He's
Out round
left
the corner.
that brilliantly
Yeah.
taken. Just
4 runs.
yeah, use the width of the ball and the pace just to whip that off his legs down to fine leg for 4. So that's a great start to this over for Glamorgan.
Well, Glamorgan could do with a big over now, couldn't they? Just an over that goes for
Yeah.
12 or 15, just to sort of pick the momentum back up again.
Definitely.
Can happen so quickly. It doesn't take long. It only takes 2 or 3, in the same way as it doesn't take long to take 3 wickets.
No.
It also doesn't take long to sort of suddenly get the scoreboard ticking over again.
Singdale comes in, dug that one in a bit more, but it's again just worked towards
Think
backward
about
point.
2. No, Colin Ingram probably didn't quite run the first one quick enough to make a serious attempt at 2. He's rotating the strike, just checking his hamstring there. Colin Ingram, just giving it a little stretch. It's the hard thing about when you're in your late 30s, sprinting lots of singles with a 20-year-old down the other end.
Yeah.
But he still makes it look pretty easy. So Ace a tribe really, hasn't?
Look at the big gap on
Yeah.
the leg side here.
Yeah.
All you got to do is just literally nudge it into that gap. You should be able to get 2 because we've got 2 sweepers right on the boundary. No one else there. Oh, he's driven it straight back.
It's a nice piece of footwork from Ajit Singdale. He's I think he's managed to escape unscathed, unless he's not wanting to show the limp. But it was a good piece of work with his feet there. I think it must have got the sole of his boot, and thankfully not his ankle or one of the bones on the foot. That would have been painful. He hit back very hard by Ace Tribe, who's only been able to deal in singles so far, but just biding his time. But you can catch up, that's the thing. Important, I think, that he stays around for a little while, because we know what he can do.
There we go.
Low full toss.
Probably only
So,
1.
Yeah, almost caught it a bit too well, didn't he, really?
Yeah. the left-right hand combo. Making Gloucester have to think about changes each ball if they do just keep rotating the strike. Always a frustration for a fielding side to have to keep doing that. Two sweepers out on the leg side.
Yeah, third man and final are both up.
Yeah.
Oh, he's swung away by Conroy. A magnificent shot. That has cleared the boundary by about 10 metres. Again, just the economy of effort. Swung behind square. It's a huge 6. And that just shows what this magician can do.
Yeah, again, just effortless. Just a little whip of the wrists off the hips.
So powerful.
All the way.
And it just must just be in the forearms, of the speed of the hands and such strong forearms. Ball flies off his bat. And they've now moved a man down there, down to deep, fine leg.
I think they're probably on another, either a 2 or a 4 here, just to make this a really good over. 12 from it so far. Oh, he's dug it in short.
Oh, this could be out. Trouble.
Oh.
And it is out. And that is a very big wicket for Gloucestershire. And trouble for Glamorgan. Colin Ingram was just starting to get going. Had reached 30 at pretty much 2 runs a ball. And unfortunately, he has just picked out the man on the mid-wicket boundary, straight down his throat. A simple catch for Payne. No, it wasn't Payne. Who was that down on the boundary? We'll find out in a moment. Singdo with the bumper.
Incoming batter for Glamorgan is Dan Southwaite.
Yeah, and in the end, a simple catch. Head height. Never looked like dropping it. And a big wicket for Gloucestershire. So, swings back in their favour again here. And Dan Southwaite comes to the crease. Again, a striker of the ball. He's not the sort of player you'd think to nurdle it round. That's not really his game. There's not loads of batting left. Some guys who are pretty handy with the bat, but of the guys you'd say genuine all-rounders, he's probably the last one.
Yeah.
So we see spin for the first time. Graham Van Buren. Lovely little cameo with the bat at the end of the Gloucestershire innings. And so Van Buren now. Can he rub some salt into the wound here? He's going to try and rattle through his over here, jogging back to his mark. Just not give these two batters any time to settle. Tribe hasn't been very fluent yet for nice looking drive. Oh, that's deflected off, and there should be a couple here. He kind of stopped it, but deflected it in a completely different direction.
Yeah, can't do a lot about that, unfortunately.
So 81 needed from 52.
Dug in a bit quicker. He's a busy bowler, isn't he?
Yeah, he's busy.
Just busy in the field.
Yeah,
busy through his action quickly.
Exactly.
Just trying to put as much pressure on, not give the batter any time to settle. Just wants to push through his over as quickly as he
So
can.
they're both long and long off a back, really. They expect Dan Southwaite to try and hit the spinner straight, really. So they're going to say you've got to hit it over our heads if you're going to get a boundary. Content for now just to run that one down, take the single.
Guess they need to be mindful of just taking the single. You know, keeps the scoreboard ticking, but it's not enough at this stage.
No.
So they do need to
Run a few twos.
Yeah. Or hit the
Ace of Pride has gone big. I think he's found the gap.
Yeah, or hit a nice
and
six.
that's
Yeah.
right into the stand. Well, that's a brilliant shot. And there we see the power of Ace of Tribe. It's the first shot he's really played. And he's caught that beautifully. Pretty effortless strike, actually.
I feel like he heard me. I don't know, but
Well, that's a big hit again.
it was a huge hit, huge six. Like I say, the longest part of the ground down there.
So, 10 off the over, 1 ball to come. Wide up, it's in the air. Oh, oh, wow. It's all happening out there.
Yes.
They thought about a single. It was a diving stop at cover. Dan Southwaite had gone halfway down, turned and had to leap back into his ground. Oh, yeah, stopped at halfway. Oh,
Yeah, lucky he didn't slip there. Otherwise he would have been way out of his ground.
so 10 off the over. 103 for 5 now. the total that Glamorgan need. 176. 73 off 48.
Good to see the worm at this stage. You see where
Yeah.
Gloucester were off their 12 overs, so Glamorgan 103 for 5.
Yeah, well, I always enjoy looking across at the DLS par, I know, just
Yeah.
because that just gives you a bit of a sense about the balance of the game. The DLS par at the moment is your favourite number, 111.
I've had a lot of it today.
And so Glamorgan 103 for 5. So on that measure, a little bit behind. But I think the chances of this game being rained off are precisely 0.
I think safe to say. Safe to say.
Yeah.
No, there's been a lot of swarms of ladybugs in various games.
Yeah, I saw the one in the test match the
in
other day.
Test match, and our local side have experienced the same in North Somerset today during
have
their
they?
game.
I wonder what it is about.
It's the hot weather.
They like it, do they?
They do.
There's going to be a couple here, I think. Possibly even 3. We'll just keep it for 2 in the end.
Good decision.
It's quite hot to be running too many 3s. And
Seeing Dale down there, I think he's taken a bit of a tumble.
yeah, is he all right? He's back to his
all
feet. Oh, they are just signalling. I don't know whether he's done something. Well, he's still got at least 1 over to bowl. If he's fit enough, he looks okay.
Yeah.
Wandering back into position here, just sort of slightly gingerly moving his right leg. Maybe it's the hip.
It's
or
just
the
so
knee.
hard to, diving on this.
Yeah.
If you get it slightly wrong, you like hitting
Oh,
concrete.
he's tried on the charge again,
jeez.
and he's nicked that one, and he's gone. Well, disappointing from a Glamorgan perspective. He was trying to take the game on, trying to use his feet to make something happen, and unfortunately he's got the tiniest of feathers straight through to Cameron Bancroft, and that is a serious blow for Gloucestershire and Glamorgan's hopes. Certainly dented now, as their last recognised batter is on the way. Yeah, a clear nick on that one. He hoped he'd got away with it, looked to the umpire in the hope that he wouldn't give it. But yeah, definite deflection off the bat. And he goes for 16 at runner ball pretty much. And that brings Imad Wasim, Pakistan international, very experienced player, batting at 8 in this Glamorgan team. And still the run rate not crazy, but still, if you've got recognised batters there. But now we're definitely moving into the tail.
Yeah, worrying time now, I think, for Glamorgan.
Yeah.
This is a must-win game for them, and at the moment, the balance is definitely with Gloucestershire. Glamorgan 6 wickets down, still requiring 70 runs with 45 balls remaining. So it shifts quickly in these games. Just worked off his hip to take him.
So, Dan Douthwaite, a man who can score very, very quickly when he gets going, but can he hang around long enough and play with that level of intent? Still just under 70 runs needed. There's quite a long way to go in this game. He's having a look out on the leg side, but you've got plenty of fielders out there guarding the boundary. Pulls this one, only going to be 1. So singles are not going to be enough here.
Right.
I think they definitely would think they need to take 1 or 2 boundaries of most of the overs that they've got left now.
Just looking at the time as well for the cut-off. 7 overs remaining.
Could be 2 there. He's knocked that into a gap. Yeah, that's a comfortable 2. Dan Douthwaite sprints back with no problem.
Yeah, 7 overs remaining in 20-ish minutes. So they've got I've noticed them sort of jogging a bit quicker through their bowling And they're getting back to their mark. So, oh, here's the worm. Excellent, thank you, team, for bringing that up.
Well, it's pretty kind of close. It's almost. I think it's the wickets though. That's
Yeah.
the key. If you look, there was a. Gloucestershire did have that period between about sort of over 8 and over 16 where they didn't lose any wickets and just consolidated. Glamorgan haven't really managed to put together that sort of partnership.
No.
And I think they lost a few wickets at the end then. So even though things are looking even Stevens, it's the wickets column I think which is of concern for Glamorgan as Ajit Singhdale returns to bowl his final over, and he's on the floor again. That won't help the sore hip. Seems to get up okay.
Just means you can't take as many risks when you've got that, that many down. If you're only down, 2 or 3, it gives the licence to those coming in a bit more to be able to naturally play their game and run that dreaded 1-1-1. We've had that a lot today.
I'm with Stevie Wonder. Superstition ain't the way.
I'm just going to lift my foot just in case, for Glamorgan's sake. It just means you have to be slightly more reserved than you would be, but they can't, they don't have the overs to be not playing their natural game at the moment.
No, and I think that's what's difficult. If they, again, with only 7 overs to go, you can't really afford to have too many consolidating overs.
No, definitely not.
I think, they'll need a couple of big ones. I think Dalthwaite is probably the person they'll be looking to, but it's a lot of pressure on him and a lot of work to do. I think he just needs to really, if he can come off for 5 or 6 overs, playing some big shots and have someone to stay with him, that maybe is Glamorgan's best chance, but I must admit it's been pretty disappointing from the top order. Quite a few of them have fallen cheaply. Carlson, Horton and Kellaway all going for single figure scores. It's cute.
For it.
Wasim just was resigned to being out there. They've got 2.
Yeah,
he didn't even try.
No, he's just like, I'm out by about 3 metres here, so if it hits, I'm gonna, but it didn't. They managed to get 2.
Who's that? Josh Shaw with a double teapot, 3rd man there, I think, isn't it? Well, it's, Josh Shaw will be a bit disappointed he didn't hit the stumps there, because Imad was well out. Oh, in the air. I think it may just drop. Oh, he gets there. Mark DeLange takes the catch. Yeah. And that, you would think, is the end of Glamorgan's hopes. I don't want to call it too soon, but that feels like a significant blow.
I always think he didn't pick that up at one point. I thought, is he actually going to make his ground to...
Yeah, he had to run in quite a long way. And the end took quite a good catch. He had to kind of dive forward. And he's had a big impact on this game as DeLange. Oh, he kind of went fingers up, didn't he, with a dive forward. That's and blows a little kiss to the crowd. I'm not sure who that was, whether it's a genuine kiss to a loved one, or someone's been giving him a bit of stick in the crowd. Who knows? Could be one or the other. Either way, the kisses on their way to them. And Glamorgan are in a spotted bobber here. Definitely into the tail here. Tim van der Hoofden can play. Again, can strike the ball. But it's finding the right balance here, really. 7 down. And your sense is someone's just got to try something here. So, well on to the Gloucestershire bowlers. Right on top now. Ooh. And again, plenty of pace and energy in that. Another great over from Singhdale. He finishes 2 for 33. Good spell from him. Couple of important wickets. Yeah, Ingram and Dalthwaite both falling to Singhdale. And Glamorgan supporters here, I think, fearing the worst. It's not over till it's over. 6 overs to go. Glamorgan needing 62, so more than 10 and over now. which is not ridiculous, but I think it might be challenging for the tail.
Yeah.
So it's Ben Charlesworth who's going to bowl his third over from the Cathedral Road end.
I think they might be tempted next over to bring Delane back in, maybe, and just try and whip through the tail. He's still got one over to use.
Flick round the corner. Well, maybe look for two. It's whistled in, forcing Cameron Bancroft to leap up above his head. That's big Delang on that.
Yes.
Big strong arm. Needs to
It's his game today.
cut down on the amount of steaks he's eating. He's clearly
Yeah.
far too strong. The way that whistled in. So Tim van der Hoofden back in the side.
Oh, looking for two.
Well, they were not looking for
No.
Tim Morgan. Well, they just
Ambling.
thing really. I think it's not sure they're going to run that many twos, this pair, from what we've seen so far. So they're going to have to probably trade in boundaries then to get Glamorgan anywhere near. Imad is ticking over, 5 from 5, but
Slower ball. Singles isn't going to do it.
no, they'll be happy with this. No problem from a Gloucestershire perspective. Again, it feels like they've got things under control, not just that sense you have. Just when the ball's kind of going where they want it to go. Content just to work the singles on the leg side at the moment.
Yes, they are behind the run weight by 2.
Oh, nice
Drilled.
strike, he's hit that well, but there's a man there. It's only going to be one.
Yeah. Gloucestershire will be happy with this. Just singles coming off this over at the moment with one ball to come. Needs to be a boundary for Glamorgan really to keep them up with that rate, which has now crept up to 11, and they're currently on a run rate of 8. Just again a single.
Yeah, 6 singles. Well, that's okay. That's to consolidate, but they're leaving themselves a bit to do here as the rate's climbing up towards 12. It's on this day of Glamorgan against Gloucestershire. Good news from Newent, little village on the Welsh border near Monmouth. Glamorgan under-14s have beaten Gloucestershire young cricketers,
Yeah.
which is good news. I've been following that one secretly during the commentary. My boy playing in that one.
Yeah.
He's had a good day. Got 50 and 4 wickets, so fair play. He always plays better when his dad's not watching. That's what we learned from that one.
That was the Glamorgan women's.
Stay away, Dad.
Yeah.
So difficult though here for the Glamorgan first team. A bit of a false stroke from Van der Hoofden. Yeah, there. Just another single. So biding their time, I think these two, just trying to get the measure of the pitch and just hope that they give something they feel they can hit to the boundary. It's going to have to be a good hit on the leg side as their fielders all the way round. Deep square leg, mid wicket and long on. Has a go at that one.
Not quite.
Can only take another single.
I think if you're Glamorgan, you go for it, don't you? Singles isn't going to get them where they need to be, so one of these two you have to say between you. I'll go and just try and.
And when it gets to 12s, isn't it? I think
Yeah.
that's the kind of that
See,
is difficult.
11.6, so it is creeping up, and the singles, whilst it's keeping it ticking,
Goes straight.
isn't going to get them anywhere near
Again, just
this.
the one. They're quite straight. Those
total.
two fielders there. Again, it's not a long boundary if you can get it in the air, but you get the sense that they kind of bowl into their field nicely here. They have a pretty organised plan to Gloucestershire. Everyone's in the right place at the moment. And Glamorgan can't find the boundary. Gives himself some room. Slaps it away. Again, only taking one.
Yeah, didn't get hold of that at all.
And this is very comfortable from Gloucestershire. I think they've got Glamorgan where they want them at the moment. Have as many singles as you like. If it's just singles, every time they get a single, the rate goes up. It's kind of just drifting along the game now. Just feels a bit soporific, doesn't it?
It's gone a bit flat, for sure.
Like Gloucestershire letting Glamorgan have a single every ball. They're taking the single every ball and not really at the moment. They're not trying to do any more, but there may be method to the madness. We shall see. Now that's a good shot. He's caught that one. And I think it's just four. One bounce, four. So, much needed boundary. And that's still just only 9 from the over. Yeah, in the slot.
Yeah, definitely.
And that isn't far if you can get hold of it. Oh, has that gone all the way? I don't know. Maybe it just looked like it just landed inside. It has. So, Imad first boundary. He moves on to 13. 47 from 24 is the math, so pretty much 2 a ball. Concern looks from the Glamorgan supporters.
Payne back into the attack, left arm.
Yeah, canny bowler.
Yeah.
Experience, plays been a good performer in the 100.
Yeah.
So he'll just be hoping to help see things out now. He's got 2 overs left. Nice cut shot, but I think it's only going to be 1. Straight to the man at deep point. So here traditionally with these very long square boundaries, you don't mind them hitting square because you can normally cover it with fielders. It's the hitting straight can be a bit more dangerous because it's such a short boundary. But they've got 2 men pretty straight here as well to try and cut the straight boundary off. Wasim goes big, that's in the air. I think this is going to be out. And it is.
Yeah.
Payne takes his 2nd wicket. Imad has lasted for 10 balls, but never could get Glamorgan up to the rate they needed. And he's gone, trying to force things. And Glamorgan a little bit deeper in the mire now in this game. Yeah, just a slice really up in the air. Simple catch.
Definitely.
So Ned Leonard is the new batter. Means Mason Crane will be the number 11. Not a bad number 11 as number 11s go.
Can bat for sure, but the task I feel is a bit too much at the moment. 46 off 22 balls.
Well, I guess just a chance to make himself a hero here, Ned Leonard. You may as well. Don't die wandering.
Teeing off the first ball there.
Cleared the front leg, but wasn't really anywhere near it.
Again, jogging back to the crease, cut-off time 17:50.
And so what happens if they don't get that?
It's a fielding restriction, I believe.
Have to bring another one
Yeah,
in.
bring one in, which I don't think in the grand scheme of things will unfortunately make any difference. Again, a dot ball, so it's a great over from Payne at the moment. Only 1 coming from the first 4 balls. So he jogs back to his mark, ready to go again. Leonard looking to connect with 1.
Yeah, he's just trying to give himself some space, isn't he? Move, follows him this time, tucks him up, just 1. So, if we had Winviz, it would be swinging wildly in favour of Gloucestershire here.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really have got Glamorgan where they want them, by the short and curlies.
And Gloucester won't mind that at all. jogging quickly through the end of the over. Great over from Payne. So Glamorgan 132 for 8 off 17 overs, requiring 44 off the last 18 balls. So only 3 overs to play for, and only 2 wickets in hand.
Access and inclusion for disabled sports fans at counties and venues, delivering meaningful change together. Head to Glamorgan.
Yeah, it's going to take a miracle from a Glamorgan perspective, you'd think. Something very special. I mean, if they can take a big over, it's March and DeLanger again. Chief tormentor has taken 3 really important wickets, ripped the heart out of Glamorgan's top order earlier on, and now bowling at the tail. This is not what you want as a tail ender, seeing him running at you.
I think Glamorgan will be kicking themselves with this, the end of this game. They had the opportunity.
Maybe conceded 10 or 20 too many because maybe a couple of drop catches.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's trying to move away and give himself room, isn't he? And maybe just slice it over the third man area, I think. But
I think he's probably also wanting just to be down the other end, maybe, but get something on it. I think it will fly, like you say, down to third man. Just got the bottom of the bat sliced away, really.
yeah, well, it's all gone a bit quiet here now.
Yeah.
All gone a bit quiet. I think the crowd can see what's happening. Knowledgeable crowd. The sense of jeopardy has rather faded away of not knowing what's going to happen. I think one result is the big favourite here, as a sharp bouncer is fired through.
None for the over. Well bowled though, straight at him. Great figures for DeLang though today.
Yeah, he's been really good. Has really changed the game. Glamorgan were going really nicely early on. Oh, and they just a single. No need to hurry, really. I don't think Gloucestershire need to do anything particularly exciting from here. Just keep doing what they're doing, which has been very effective. Grab control of the game, really, and taking wickets at regular intervals. And Glamorgan have not really been able to put together a partnership to really challenge this total.
Oh, yes.
And that's beautifully bowled. 4th wicket for DeLanger. And he's really been the pick. What a spell that's been. Great way to finish.
Yeah.
4 for 20. Fabulous piece of work from him.
Right at the bottom of the stump, that one.
And his return to Sapphire Gardens, from his perspective, has been a very successful one. And so last man on his way. As Ned Leonard departs, it's Mason Crane who's on the way in. Classic off-stump Yorker.
Yeah, brilliantly bowled.
Yeah, and you see tail enders kind of pulling away to off. Something perhaps doesn't massively fancy facing him, but well, who can blame him?
No, exactly that.
Very difficult for tail enders to try and do anything. So just 12 balls to win. 41, mathematically still possible, but I think Gloucestershire feel like they've got this one covered, as David Payne returns to finish off his spell from the Cathedral Road end. Goes full and bowls him, and that's all over. That's the match done, and Gloucestershire have won by 40 runs. In the end, a comprehensive victory by them. They bowled really, really well, and you'd have to say it was Marchant DeLanger, the former Glamorgan player, who really did the damage and ripped the heart out of this Glamorgan innings. And not only has he ripped the heart out of this innings, that might well have scuppered Glamorgan's challenge for the quarterfinals as well.
Yeah, I feel you're probably right. Unfortunately, a very dejected Glamorgan side here, but taking nothing away from Gloucestershire. They bowled brilliantly, came out, they scored a good total, one that Glamorgan knew they could probably get, but like say probably 20-30 runs more. then if they'd held those catches, it might have been a different scoreline to be chasing. But yeah, taking nothing away from Gloucestershire. They've bowled really well, fielded brilliantly. And the Battle of the Bridge, I think, is 1-1.
Yeah, it's 1-1. Glamorgan women won this morning, Gloucestershire men this afternoon. So yeah, it's honours even here at Sapphire Gardens after an exciting day of cricket. And in the end, decent margin of victory as it was in the women's game for Glamorgan. Well, Gloucestershire have won well there. Victory by 40 runs. In the end, Glamorgan really nowhere near what they needed. And once those wickets started tumbling, it was DeLanger in particular who came in and took 2 and 2. And from then on, Glamorgan was struggling. There were flashes of hope as Colin Ingram came out and got to 30 in pretty quick time. But after that, once Asa Tribe, the last recognised batsman, had gone for 16, well, it was too much really to be expected from the tail.
Yeah. Payne finishing on good stats there as well. 3 for 16 off his 3.1 overs, so
Yeah,
great
very
figures
good.
from him.
Yeah, very good. Well, they've had a slim. It's not been the best season for Gloucestershire for them, given they were champions last year, but they'll be pleased with that. And you saw once they got into their groove, and they were a pretty well drilled, organised team, knew where they were bowling, knew what they were doing, really kind of controlled things really, really well. And so it's a good win by 40 runs for Gloucestershire here, and that's going to make things difficult for Glamorgan. We'll have to see how all the results have gone today, but you'd think that might well put paid to their hopes of reaching the quarterfinals. 3 defeats in a row this week. It's not been a good week for them. And there you can see the batting card. Well, Will Smell started so well with 43 from 27. He was playing really freely. And then it was Marchant DeLanger, the big former Glamorgan player, who ended up taking 4 wickets.
Yeah.
Bowled really, really well. 4 for 20 from his 4 overs. Backed up brilliantly by Singdale, 2 for 33, and Payne, 3 for 16. And really, Glamorgan's batters didn't have any answer. They lost wickets at regular intervals, as you can see there.
Yeah.
And could never really get a partnership together. And once it got to about the halfway stage, when they lost their 5th wicket, well, they were never really in the hunt from that point. So, disappointing. And there's the summary. 175 for 6 from Gloucestershire. Glamorgan will probably feel that Gloucestershire, they allowed them to have maybe 15 or 20 too many, having dropped a couple of catches in the deep. Charlesworth with an excellent 55, supported by Taylor and Hammond. And then Glamorgan bowled out in the 19th over for just 135. Will Smale and Ingram, the two offering resistance. Outstanding figures for DeLanger, 4 for 20, and Payne, 3 for 16. Gloucestershire win by 40 runs. And good just to remember that this has been a historic day for Glamorgan, the first ever women's and men's double header here at Sapphire Gardens. Great to see women's cricket being supported. Of course, cricket is her game too.
Yep.
And everyone at Glamorgan really hoping and looking forward to seeing where the Glamorgan women's team can take them. Do get involved in the Walk for Prostate Cymru this July as well. You can enter for just £10. Details at prostatecymru.com. Great to support that charity. And don't forget the 100, it's on its way, coming very soon. First game here at Sapphire Gardens, Saturday the 9th of August. It's another double header against the London Spirit, the women in the afternoon, followed up by the men in the evening. Great value tickets, as always. You can buy them at the100.com/tickets. And finally, if you're looking to something to do when the kids go back to school in September, well, there's international cricket here at Sapphire Gardens. South Africa are the visitors in the Vitality IT20 series. Tickets still available at glamorgancricket.com. So, and that brings to an end this long and exciting day of cricket.
Yes.
It's honours even between Glamorgan and Gloucestershire. The women win in the morning, and the men from Gloucestershire win this afternoon. Kath, what have you made of it?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a great day of cricket today. Obviously, starting the morning brilliantly, Glamorgan winning just was a fantastic, result for them today, which puts them into the finals at the end of July, which, you know, we're lucky to bring Amy Rees up into the common spot during the break and hear her insights on how well the team's doing, developing, and just making that next step towards the professional era when they join Tier 1 in 2027. So great result for them here today. Unfortunately, the shift of balance didn't work in Glamorgan men's favour later today, but like I say, taking nothing away from Gloucester, I think they really came out fighting and they took the game to Glamorgan and rightly were winners today. So yeah, historical day, great crowd, fantastic weather, and it's just been lovely to see so many, you know, young children as well coming to the games to get involved. And like you say, it's her game too, and you know, that's what we're looking to push and promote as much as possible, just on a even playing field. So yeah, it's been a fantastic day today, and it's been great to share it with you.
Well, Kathy, thank you so much for your insights. Yep, so I hope you've enjoyed the coverage with us. I think the quarterfinals is going to be a step too far for Glamorgan's men, but as far as the women's are concerned, well, a place in the finals day is on the cards. Book your coach ticket July the 26th in Northampton, because the Glamorgan women are going to the Vitality Blast Division 2 finals day, and we're all really looking forward to it. Thank you so much for joining us today. Hope we've really enjoyed having your company. Please join us again on Friday for another doubleheader here from Sapphire Guards. The action gets underway around 2:30, and we hope you can join us for that. So thanks very much indeed. We hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend, but from Kathy and from me, it's good night.
Thank you.